sounds like a bunch of nerd stuff.
Yeah, it's...
Keith and I only talk about nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if
too.
we talk about things that aren't nerd stuff.
That's probably about all I talk about too. Well,
Nerd.
no, I think I only talk about weeb stuff. I don't think I ever talk about nerd stuff because that'd be smart boy stuff, and I don't do that.
I remember like being younger, and I thought I was like, there's a difference between like a nerd and a geek and a dork. And
yeah.
Before weebs existed, so I remember like categorizing. I was like, those mean different things.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, they do.
I remember my
Absolutely.
era of like categorizing them differently and like taking some sort of weird pride in which one I was because like the other one's worse or something.
See, you're a nerd because nerds are implied to be smart. Geeks just like geeky shit, and dorks aren't good at anything.
I'm unsalvageable. I am just a straight, undesirable weeb. There's
undesirable weeb.
Yeah, there's no place for me.
See,
Japan hates me. America shuns me or mocks me incessantly.
You fled. You fled the country.
I mean, the Middle East definitely didn't want me. I was definitely not welcome with my atheist views. Like, that was not the place to be. There's really no home for me. I'm kind of screwed. I also hate capitalism, so, you know, death to me, I guess.
You've gone through a character arc.
But I also don't I don't trust communist countries, so China's a no-go.
So you just don't like anybody.
You've gone through like a whole character arc because when I first met you and talked about political things, you sounded like a libertarian.
What is Australia? Is Australia like?
Oh, we were muted.
Wait, is Australia Mad Max?
I accidentally muted us. That's why you were just talking over.
Do they have a government?
I was like, why can't we communicate? What's wrong?
Wait, what?
Australia.
You muted us?
Yeah.
To who?
We're back. He couldn't hear us for a bit.
Audience.
No, the audience could hear us.
Oh, yeah. I maybe I couldn't hear you then.
Yeah, I was mentioning like since I met you, you've gone through like a character arc because in the early days you were like spouting like libertarian sounding shit.
I mean, death to the. I don't know what libertarian shit is anymore. Everything's all muddy now. Libertarian is authright apparently by Reddit standards, and libertarians think that they are socialists somehow. I don't fucking know anymore.
I was telling Keith yesterday that I'm really terrible at talking about politics because my whole life I like avoided talking about politics because it would make my family enraged. So I just learned over like my lifespan to just never get into politics with people. And so now everyone my age wants to talk about politics with me and I don't know how.
Yeah. That's me, but for every intelligent conversation that isn't just dumb TV stuff.
Damn.
Was upsetting to my family. It's like, that's boring. I don't know enough about that. I didn't do well in school. Oh, okay, well, we'll talk about TV shows.
Talking about science. You think you're better than us?
I mean, my father literally didn't graduate middle school. He just left. He was like, forget it. I'll be a fucking oil rig worker. And that's what he did.
It was
They didn't need him to graduate high school, apparently, to work on oil rigs that fucking can catch fire and blow up. It's fine. Middle school kids can do it.
It was one of the big, like, your parents don't know what they're doing things. Was like growing up and like going to college because
your parents kept shouting it like a cult.
Well, your parents just were constantly told that your kids are supposed to go to college even though they didn't go to college, and so it's like that's just the right answer. But then once I get to the college, then it's like now all the people on the radio are telling them that the college are like the brainwashed elite and so on. And so now it's like this constant regret that I went to college because me going to college made me like an evil liberal. And I'm like, I don't know what they think college is like. Like, do they think
also,
it's like do they think college is like Clockwork Orange, where they just like tie you down and like force feed you an ideology?
This is also something that like I can clearly tell is a problem from people who've literally never left the confines of their tiny, pointless little town. When you go like, hey, have you ever like been somewhere that's like globally, you know, like been out of the
have you ever been somewhere that's like globally?
Yeah, you know, that's not America. And people are like, no, why? There's a whole America to travel to. Yeah, but America's the same. We're all boring. Go somewhere that's not America. You'll see a lot of the world.
I remember, like, my dad always wanted to take like a big road trip in an RV, and I was always like, you know, like, I wouldn't be super opposed to that, but there's a million other places I'd just rather go.
I did that, and let me tell you, it's fucking boring. Americans are the same everywhere you go. They're just like, hey, yeah, I hate the thing.
I drove to Montana.
Okay, I get it. Place where I was, hate the thing too. Can we hate something else? No. Oh, okay.
Well, it's nice if you just look at the scenery. Cool. Like, I was like, I drove through Arizona and that was amazing looking, and then I talked to the people in Utah and that was a mistake. And then I drove to Montana.
I talked to the people in Utah and that was a mistake.
So just don't talk to anyone. Just drive places and look at things.
Wow,
that's
what
how
a beautiful country.
I was like, wow, this is great. If only the people were as beautiful as the nature.
No people
but they
country.
Aren't. I went to Utah on a road trip, and me and my cousin pull up to this like diner, and we both step out. And looking back on it now, it's really funny because I was wearing like a cutoff tank top and like a bandana, and he was like vaping.
Oh boy.
He had a vape pen and long hair.
He had a vape pen?
Yes.
I love this guy. Who is this man?
He's wearing like flip flops. He's my cousin Daniel.
Is he from the 4chan?
No. I wonder if I don't know if he knows what that is. He's just kind of a hippie bro, if that makes sense. But we walk into this diner, and the first thing he says is he looks at the waitress and says, "You guys don't serve alcohol here?" And she's like, "No." She's like,
"Sir, this is an Arby's."
Do we still have it? I forget. Isn't there still a dry state?
Well, no, it's just certain areas, but we were the most California-looking motherfuckers.
What? Well, there aren't dry states.
I thought there was a dry state.
There can't be a dry state.
Not completely. So Utah's not completely dry. You have to go to a big city in Utah.
Oh, dry communities, because
dry counties.
That sounds inviting.
Yeah, so we went to a place like it was like a restaurant, but it says there's like a sign on the door saying like you can't buy alcohol here, because I think they got a lot of travelers. But like that was like the first words when he walks in. He doesn't say hi to this lady. He's like, "You guys don't serve beer here?" And she's
this map
like,
tells me a lot about places. If I did a flow chart, it would be places I don't ever want to visit and places that are dry counties. Like, the flow chart just fits perfectly. Look at all those beautiful places that just don't serve alcohol.
From the diner window, I could see the creationist billboard like right down the road, and I was like, Utah's my favorite state. If you live in Utah, I'm sorry, but I'm never going back there.
You can't make me go back. They'll never get me again. There's a lot
of people who wish you could take them with you.
If you live in Utah, come to California. Try it out.
Don't come to California. Do not do that, sir. It is 2 times the cost with like 0 times the value.
Yeah, where would I tell people to go?
Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's a nice place.
I think Oregon's sick of our
Washington, shit. It's acceptable. It's kind of expensive though. Actually, all of the West Coast is expensive. Maybe go to like... I like Idaho. Nevada and Arizona are gone. You can't go there anymore.
Wow. The diagram you shared, there's a lot of color on it.
Yeah, the colored places are the bad. Except the blue. Blue's all the good places.
So yeah, on the diagram you showed, there's one state that's almost entirely just fully dry, but then like huge amounts of... There's like a diagonal line from like Texas up to the top right of the country that's all mixed, whatever that means.
So they probably can pick and choose.
Starting to notice that the more Confederate, the less fun you are, is what I'm starting to realize here.
The more Confederate.
I actually don't know if what is that above Texas? Is that
Oklahoma?
That's not above Texas. The one above Oklahoma.
Okay.
Is that Tennessee? I think that's Tennessee.
He took the map away. I should know it without. I should know it without the map, but I don't.
I did the ultimate crime. I stole the map.
I think it's Tennessee, but Tennessee is. I don't know what Tennessee was in the war. I'm assuming they're part of the South.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what they count themselves as.
It's the Panther People place.
Oh my God! Is that a Tiger Man?
Yeah, I was really surprised when I came back to WoW and realized that some expansion I never played was just full of like centaur panthers.
Furries.
And this one's like a confused furry because he's got like a jackal head on when he's definitely not a jackal. So he's a furry. Like he's a furry who has a persona that's not what they are.
Oh no. He's a complicated furry.
Relationship with furry status complicated.
See, I wonder if you were able to become your OC, maybe you'd get bored of being your OC and you'd have another OC.
I gotta be this one forever.
I feel like that's starting to get Matrix level, where you're like, my OC's got an OC.
I'm somebody's OC.
I'm somebody's OC.
That's a sentence that needs like explanation. How are you someone's OC?
I'm just sure
You're a real person.
Someone out there drew a picture of their OC and it looks like me.
Oh, I thought like you were trying to claim that your parents technically decided you're their OC. It's like,
I am their OC.
Guess.
I'm not
You are
totally
an
sure, but
original
you might
character
be
made
coming
by
in
them.
hot on your microphone.
What?
Your microphone might be like on the edge
Of glory.
On the edge of what?
of like clipping or something. I can't quite tell. We always have the audio turned up more when we're splitting it for our purposes.
She doesn't sound like she's clipping.
No, I mean you.
Oh, am I clipping?
I don't know if you're clipping, but it sounds like you're always maxed out.
That is my personality, yes.
Okay, I keep trying.
Actually,
I keep like twerking. Twerking.
Stop twerking.
Please.
Stop twerking.
I keep tweaking the volume up and down. It never quite gets to a comfortable level where I'm just like, I don't know.
There are children here.
I'm a child here. Stop.
Hello, even bigger centaur cat who's also wearing a jackal head, or is it a
Why are they
ram?
wearing like why are they wearing
he's got wings.
weird masks
There's a
that
lot
are
to take
also
in
of
here.
another animal?
Oh,
I don't really appreciate
what am I
that.
doing? What happened to me just now? You just threw me.
What happened to you?
I think
Whoa.
he threw me.
Oh, he begins to cast shockwave. Well, I don't like that. Oh. Yep, definitely didn't like that.
I don't need to fight on my own. I can just summon 70 things to do it for me.
Have you ever like had to try to explain a problem to a doctor?
Yeah, that's called going to the doctor.
I'm really good at it because I'm very good
I
at
am-
describing things. And I know what
I'm
they'll ask.
Terrible at it.
I'm bad at going to the doctor. I instantly
Yeah,
feel like I'm
I-
wasting someone's time.
Right? I feel like I'm a bad person every time I go to the doctor, where it's like, well, I have this pain in my chest. And they're like, well, is it a heart attack? Well, no, not like that kind of pain. Like,
and
I'm
they're
not
always like a
dying,
little
I just-
too curt and a little too kind of dismissive, and they always feel a little too impatient, and so you always feel like you just like, I'm sorry, I should just leave.
I'm such a like a hypochondriac that I know how to explain it. So like I went to the doctor and I said something along the lines of like, so I have like a dull ache in my lower left quadrant of my like frontal abdominal muscle. And like
What is that?
Like
What does that mean?
because I was looking it up
She's
so
talking
much.
about cum gutters.
I thought only men could have cum gutters in this.
Fucking Rick and Morty.
Because I think it's the shadowing of like your pelvic muscle is the cum gutters.
What? Wait, what?
I think
Keith and I
That's
learned
a real thing.
We learned a
What is a
term.
cum gutter?
women can have abs.
Well, I don't think it's abs. I think it's this part right here. I think it's like the line
Wow, Keith, way to not be sexist.
I think it's the vertical line, like the middle.
in the chat. Tell us your
Which
vital opinion. So
What?
yeah.
Okay, first of all, a cum gutter is not a real thing.
we learned a term.
Didn't
Medically described term.
Yeah, but she said her abdominal muscles, so I was like,
I'm not that
her
ripped.
cum gutters.
Keith. I'm not like that buff. Okay.
Fucking Rick and Morty. You watched that episode, right?
Is that the newest one?
Right. No, it was the train episode
No.
we talked about last time, right?
Oh, the train. Yeah, that's in
Yeah.
the train episode. Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't.
Because that was
don't think that's-
the part where
Some
the Jesus
aspect-
controversy.
Some aspect of like these men's like abs were referred to as cum gutters, and I want to know which part specifically,
They just kept saying,
or if
like,
it's
check out
all
the
of
cum gutters on that
lines.
guy. Every time somebody had abs throughout the episode. And then they just kind of quietly show Jesus later in the epised, but they don't say it, but it's implied. Because
he's the
they
buffest
trained you to
boy
think that
of
about
all.
abs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh no.
I appreciated the
could
very
go wrong?
subtlety and religious humor that they were going for.
Keith and I
Clearly,
just
no
looked
one
at
was
each other.
upset by it.
Yeah, clearly.
Rick and
like,
Morty is known for their subtlety.
they're very
Yeah.
irreverent, which is the kind of humor I like the best. But like
Now that's a fake word.
Irreverent?
irreverent.
You don't know the word irreverent?
Probably not, if I was to be honest.
It's like they
It's
don't.
like
Probably
the
a real
word
word.
to describe like Rick and Morty and South Park.
It's like
and
nothing sacred,
so
nothing
on.
sacred kind of humor, where it's like anything's
Is that nihilism?
no, because I mean nihilism just implies that nothing matters. This is implying that nothing matters. It just implies that there's like you might as well drag everything through the mud if you're gonna drag
Yeah,
anything through the
irreverent
mud.
basically means edgy.
No, but
Oh, okay.
edgy
That's a real
usually.
Edgy is less of a real word than irreverent is.
But edgy can be edgy's like implied to be cringy. Like it has no like meaning. It has,
I think
it's
I
not
like
trying to
edgy
say
because it sounds like
anything.
etchy, and I'm okay with
Etchy.
that word.
Edgy.
That's a real word.
I don't think
only everything was
edgy's not
edgy.
implied to be cringy.
Well, usually it's like, oh, well, you're just trying to be edgy. It's like if I was like saying like, oh, I hate God or something, but I wasn't like trying to say
that's the
anything
difference
about
between
it.
being edgy and trying to be edgy. It's
So
like
being-
they see it like
What is so what is like real edge? Like real edge is walking up to a church and burning it down? Is that like
And then
real
not
edge?
look-
well, it's,
Or
like,
not
it's the
looking.
difference between when somebody describes something as being edgy versus when they say that person's trying to be edgy, which is probably like some guy with like black hair and eyeliner saying "fuck God" and stuff like that.
But I like the crow.
Fuck up.
But I like the crow. I'm covered in Crocs and there's an arrow on me and I don't know what it means.
It means you got Crocs.
Shit, I got Crocs. Is this Florida?
No, this is LaCroix.
Am I flirting with disaster?
Oh my god.
I actually found out the
Oh
people
my
that
gosh.
deliver my water, they deliver Otter Pops. And so I ordered Otter Pops from them. I don't know.
Why is that the crap? Is it just like a general delivery service that you just happen to
well,
only use for water?
So technically, so it's not
Or is that
technically
just the
Otter
two
Pops.
things
They're
they
just
do?
They're
like
called
knockoff Pops?
they're called
Popsicle
Sport
sleeves.
Pops, and they are Otter Pops without the otters.
What's the point?
Right? I kind of felt disappointed, but it was better than going to Costco, which at the time wasn't mandating masks be worn, and I wasn't going to take the risk for the otters because it really
I
wasn't worth
wasn't
it.
gonna take the risk for the otters.
But
You're just not
So I
worth
had
it,
them
Otter
delivered.
Pops.
so I had them delivered to me, and the guy when he delivered it made sure to remind me that you're to put them in the freezer first. And I kind of looked at him as if I wasn't sure if he was joking or not, but he was serious, and I said, yes, I know. I
He's
know how Otter
explaining
Pops
Otter
work.
Pops to you.
I think some people don't. I think some people just drink them.
Which is a good sign that you had a terrible upbringing, which we discussed with the Otter Pop guy. If you had a good upbringing, you had Otter Pops.
I want to
in your
blow
life.
somebody's mind that's been drinking Otter Pops their whole life and never realized what they were for and and had never unlocked their
They're
power.
to bring joy to children. That's their entire MO.
It's like I'm just gonna blow your whole fucking mind. You're
You're gonna put like a Dr. Stone on the poor guy, like you're gonna throw it in a
yes,
freezer.
exactly.
You're
Like
come
I'm
back
gonna
in
bring them.
6
I'm gonna
hours.
bring them all new technology that they never considered until that moment. Fucking life
mean, you
hack.
could-
You can freeze popsicles instead of
Yeah,
just
how about you
fucking
go-
drinking them.
hand a child an actual Otter Pop, just a regular unfrozen Otter Pop, and see what he does. He'll probably just open it up and drink it and be like, "This kind of
spill
sucks."
it all over
then
himself
look at him and
because
go,
it's impossible to
"Huh,
open."
You thought, and put it in the freezer, and he'll go, "Oh fuck, that's way better." There you go. Same thing.
If you just drink them, it's really inconvenient because the pull tab is
Indeed.
such a bitch that like it has to be frozen or else you're just gonna squeeze it and spill it all over yourself because like
Yeah.
everyone knows the Otter Pop taking the top off is like annoying
Wait,
and it cuts your mouth when you eat them.
Wait, did Otter Pops have pull tabs?
No, well, they just have like a
No.
little slit in the plastic that you
Well,
tear.
So technically they have pull tabs because the plastic is like a little bit cut at the top, so it's easier to pull. But when you do that, it creates a jagged top, which then will cut your mouth if you're not careful.
But if that was just, if it wasn't frozen, I imagine you doing that and you just squeezing it while you do it and getting it all over your shirt. Like that's gonna be
You don't need to squeeze it. You literally open it and you just put it in your, you put it on your tongue and just bend, pull back, and you're good. It's liquid. It just flows down.
Here's why
I'm not coordinated enough
Here's why I
to do
admit
that,
that I'm a
right?
fraud. I never grew up with Otter Pops.
You had a
How did you not grow up with Otter Pops?
I grew up with Italian
We
Ice.
went to the same school. We were literally living next to the same school.
I grew up with Italian Ice.
You mean like
We went
snow
to the
cones?
same school,
No,
Keith.
it's just
They had to have given you Otter
It's
Pops.
just a different popsicle sleeve brand.
No.
And I would just cut them open with scissors.
That is, first of all, what the fuck heresy is that? Second of all,
Yeah, what kind of reckless kid were you? You're supposed to not use scissors.
A nice, clean,
also,
perfect
what
cut.
adult trusted you with scissors? I was never given scissors until I was
I
like
grew up
at
in an
least
upholstery
10.
shop.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's true. Okay, that's fair.
I cut my
That's fair.
popsicles open with fucking shop scissors.
I was-
They were
Wait, that's even more alarming. You should have done that.
They were like a foot long.
They just cut it in one go.
No, shop scissors are huge.
No,
I like to imagine Keith with like cartoonishly large scissors cutting cartoonishly thin Otter Pops.
Maybe in like a clock tower
Clock
of some
tower.
sort.
That's terrifying. I don't like that. Because then you have the red one, and it gets all over the place, and now
Andrew.
you're having like PTSD flashbacks, and then
Here
you're on the
I
ground
come.
crying.
Here come the scissors, Andrew.
That shit, I will never forgive that. 2 games that scared me in my childhood: Clock Tower and Mortal Kombat for PS1.
Really? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why Mortal Kombat?
Because I didn't understand that unless you pressed a button to stop the what's it called? That
fatality.
The fatality. There was a fatality where where one of the people literally punches my spirit out of me and kills me.
That's
And
I know which one that is.
And that was
and
just
so my
like-
spirit
It's smoke.
That was
and
just
so my
more than you
spirit
could
kept
take.
running away, but I was playing playing the game on a 5.1 surround system, and I didn't know that he just kept running forever. The audio just keeps looping. So I kept hearing footsteps in the middle of the night because I didn't turn off the game because I let it just run. And so I kept hearing
That's really
footsteps. I'm
funny.
like, oh shit, what's
What
happening?
a confusing
Maybe my
reason
copy
to
of
be
Mortal Kombat's
scared by a
haunted.
game.
I still have that copy, by the way.
You lived
of
a
Mortal
real
Kombat.
life creepypasta that was entirely self-inflicted.
I have a lot of those. I'm a dumb child, and I had dumb things happen to me.
Yeah, his clock tower experience had him running out into the street and running out of his house because of clock tower.
The guy fell down the chimney. That's not how chimneys work. You can't do that. Also, I locked the door so he wouldn't get in, and he was at the door. So how did he get in the chimney? That's not possible. You can't do that. That's not how this works. And then I had to unlock the door because I locked the fucking door because he was there. And then I ran out the door, and now he's on the staircase. But how the fuck did he get there?
That's my favorite
he was in the room with the
explanation.
chimney.
For why
I
a
hate
child
this.
ran out into the street afraid is that's not how chimneys work.
That's not how chimneys work. I will not tolerate that shit. It was scary, all right? It was a scary game for scary people.
For
And I wasn't a scary
people.
person.
I
I was a baby
it.
person.
Tornado works weird.
I have to do the fake. Why
That's a
can't you
genie.
just jump into a tornado? Why do you have
Now,
to click on it? That's
genies
stupid.
always have
That's not how
come for
tornadoes
days.
work.
That is not how tornadoes work. I'm about to run out of my house.
I was like an amazingly desensitized child, so I like actively tried to make
I have
myself
never
scared
been.
of things.
Yeah, I've never been afraid on that level of a video game where I had like where my reaction was anything more severe than not wanting to play it anymore.
Do you remember? Have you ever seen the GIF of the or I guess the clip of the girl on Twitch playing? What's the one where the kids are killed by the Wendigo?
Oh.
Until dawn.
Yeah.
Until dawn,
It's a
and then
Wendigo.
you know,
lunatic.
she's like crying about, or not crying, but she's like
That
she's
Wendigo
being
ate my
upset.
baby.
She's like upset about something, and then the arrow hits the rabbit and kills it. She's like, have you seen that clip?
No, but that
No.
sounds funny.
It's great. I had that same reaction as a kid when I watched the intro cutscene to a Jurassic Park game made by DreamWorks, where they start the cutscene showing the DreamWorks logo and the kid fishing, and the kid like catches a velociraptor on the line and it pulls him off the moon and eats him.
I think I've seen that. I've seen that.
And I was like, as a kid, I was like, the kid died from the dinosaur. I was like, oh no, he's not gonna be in the movies anymore.
He's not gonna be in the movies because like there's a timeline and a canon of brand.
He's like a ghost
anyway. The kid
anyway.
always does it.
He's
real
always
kid. Fishing.
But he's like a
But
he's like
in
a
this
ghost.
one, he dies, and I was like, that doesn't happen. The kid's dead. He's gone. It's over.
What are we gonna do?
So I was a dumb kid. But again, harking back, callback, my parents didn't want to talk about, smart things with me because they were dumb people. So they didn't teach me smart things. So I made dumb assumptions on stuff.
I just watched a lot. I was unsupervised and I watched a lot of movies and like I just learned a lot of things.
I just watched a lot of Star Trek.
I watched American Pie at 12 years old. And the first thing I thought was, this is a really fucking boring movie. There is not enough action. And my dad had the most disappointed look on his face because he was really hoping that I was going to like be excited about seeing boobs. And I was like, I don't care. I want action. Where's like John McClane? Can we watch Die Hard? And he's like,
I think you're a little young for like that's a little young for the boobs. Like I think that's more like
I saw my
15?
first Playboy at 10 because another kid. Oh, okay. I think I told this story before. I saw my first Playboy because my father abandoned me with strangers at a high school reunion and told me that they were. Okay, so for context,
oh no,
my father. So for context, my father's a terrible parent. That's all the context. Okay. And so I went with him to a high school graduation when it was my weekend to visit him. And he thought it would be really good to leave me with his ex-wife and my stepsister, or my half-sister, who I did not know I had. And so that was my first time meeting her. And so he basically was like, hey, these are your half-sister's family, or this is your half-sister's mom. You're going to get in the back of their truck. They're going to take you with them to their place, and you're going to stay with them over the weekend. And that was it. I was in some stranger's car, and they took me over the weekend. And so we went boating with a man I've never met before, their son, and supposedly my half-sister. I didn't know. And the boy was skiing and hurt himself where he cut his nipple. And so his dad opened the glove compartment in his truck, pulled out a Playboy, threw it at him, and said, here, you can look at a nipple because you lost a nipple.
That doesn't even correlate.
So not okay. Oh, no.
And so he was excited because he was older than I was. I think he was like 13. And he was like, oh man. And I looked at it and I was like, it's just a nipple. We have one. I have a nipple. Don't you have a nipple?
Those are easy to find.
And he was like, but it's a girl's boob. And I was like, it's just a nipple. I don't get it. What? Okay. But he was really excited about it. And I felt good for him because he was really happy about it. But also, I had no idea who this kid was or who that guy was and why that guy had a Playboy in his truck. And if that was normal to do, because I could kind of see my father doing that, but I could never confirm that. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a product of the times. But
that's not particularly normal. If I was your mother and if I was like someone's mom and then my ex-husband did this, I would be really pissed off. If that makes you.
So for context or for clarification, my mother had no idea my father left me with these people. She had no idea until I told her that I met my half-sister and she was like, how? There's like literally no way you could have met her. And I was like, yeah, my dad had me go with them over the weekend. She's like, where? And I was like, to a farm in the middle of nowhere. She's like, what? What? And then I didn't get to go to my dad's for a couple months.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of bad.
I just figured it was just like wildly divergent people.
It was
like I think of the nipple thing, and it's just like I always thought it was a weird trope. This idea that there's like dudes whose brains just like turn off the moment they have any kind of chance at anything even like marginal towards race, like towards
racism. Jesus,
that was the wrong word. Anything that even marginally slips towards nudity, just like, oh my god, brain shuts off immediately, like zonked out, like it's mind control mode. Then I met people like that, and I was like, oh, wait, this trope's based on real people.
Well, it's funny
because I never understood. I was always confused by it. I'm like, what?
In high school, I had this friend who I considered like a younger brother. Brock. Oh, like from Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Pokemon, where he's just like horny all the time.
Yeah, there's Joy, Officer Jenny.
Look, okay, Officer Jenny. Now that's different.
She
was wearing a nice uniform. I am a sucker for uniforms.
But
Nurse Joy was a nurse. You don't sexualize nurses.
Too.
They are there to care for you. That you give them respect.
Yeah, I like Officer Jenny because she's more sassy. She's like mean to Brock about it, and Nurse Joy just tolerates
Authority figures are great. They are great dynamics.
They are. I manage a warehouse, in case the audience doesn't know. And whenever I tell people that, that's always their first response. Like, I like to be bossed around by you. And I'm like, it's not as fun as it sounds.
Except for when you tell women, and they're like, that's cute.
No,
there's the right kind of being bossing around. I don't like bossy people. I like authoritative people. I like people who are confident and what's the other word for that? I don't know what the other word is. People who
assertive?
Yeah, assertive. There you go. Assertive is a good way to put that. I don't want someone who's gonna tell me like, go take out the trash. I don't need someone bossy.
Get back to
someone
work.
Who's like, hey, the trash is fucking full. Take it out. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll take out trash.
So if they say please, you won't do it?
No, if they say please, I'll do it later.
Oh no!
There's not an urgency.
What are we learning?
My mother
about
figured
Andrew
this out very quickly. It was very much like, Andrew, the fucking garbage is full. All right, fine, I'll take the fucking thing out. And then Mo's like, Andrew, please take out the garbage. Okay. And like 2 hours later, she's like, what the? Why the fuck's the garbage out? It's like, well, now I'll take it out. It's like, well, what? Can I ask you?
You have to wait for it to escalate.
Should have started there.
I mean, that's what I told her, and that's what she did. She just started at that point now.
She's like,
yelling at the fucking trash. I was like,
okay.
I mean, to her credit, she learned, she adapted, and
she
figured it out.
She overcame.
Yeah. She was a good parent.
Overcame her
Meanwhile,
OC.
my father was different. If I didn't do something, then it was like, all right, punch it through the door. It's like, okay, well, it's escalating too quickly. I'll take the trash out, but also I'm never coming back. Like, this is scary. This turned into another fucking clock tower. I don't want this anymore. That's the dynamic. You have.
It's not a good dynamic.
No.
Well, no. Okay, that's the reason why he never won any of his custody cases.
Well,
also, it's probably because he literally skipped out on paying child support for 2 different children.
We got
times.
a notice here once that was for
child support.
Well, yeah, because there's someone who used to live here, but it was a notice for child support.
So many people used to live here.
But the thing that made me
so many different names
made me laugh was that the guy's last name was Breedlove. Breedlove. Yeah,
Is that
I took a picture of it because it made me laugh so much.
It was an incredible name.
It was for 3 kids. And
3 kids.
His name was Breedlove.
Oh my god!
And it was a letter. It was basically a letter being like, "Bitch, pay your child support. Like, we're gonna come after you." And I'm like, "Oh, this isn't my mail."
I can't tell if he's living up to his name or he's doing it shame. Like 3 children, and then he doesn't pay child support for 3 of them. That's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, you had children 3 times. I mean, unless he had like triplets, I guess. But that's unlikely.
There was I think some
Oh.
people just have like an interest in that. There was that one guy that was like
Then go
donating.
to the fucking Walgreens down the street and buy some condoms.
interest.
Like, no one's telling you can't. Just fucking wrap it.
No, people who have an interest in having lots of kids. Like, there was that one guy that donated his
I will be
sperm.
the modern Genghis Khan.
Yeah, no, like that. Yeah. That's like a specific fetish people have. There was this one guy who was donating all of his sperm
forth my
to
children.
like
That's a long con fetish. Like the
Claim
moment
the
your wife
world.
gives birth, you're like, oh, finally the release. Like,
no, this guy gave all of his sperm to lesbian couples so that way he'd have a bajillion children, but he was doing it off the record, so a couple of them sued him for child support, and now he's like paying child support for like 10 kids because technically they didn't sign anything saying they couldn't sue him for that. Yeah.
For child
this
support.
seems
Yeah, because
kind
technically
of
they did it
dubious. I
off
feel
the
like-
record, so it's like they could turn around and say that, and the court system's like, well, you didn't sign anything exonerating you of this
You didn't
responsibility.
say Simon Says.
I feel like there's an implied consent here when you literally donate your sperm to a sperm bank.
Yeah, but that doesn't hold up in court if you don't sign anything.
I think if it
How
was going
does it
to a
not hold
sperm
up your-
bank, it would have been official. I think she said it was behind people. It wasn't official.
It wasn't official, yeah. So they
Oh,
like,
he didn't
it-
officially donate.
I think
his
he was
sperm.
just giving his sperm to
well,
lesbians.
he literally put it in a turkey baster and would give it to lesbian couples.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay. Sorry, you're talking about the case of the doctor literally using his own sperm
No,
without
no.
anyone knowing he was doing it.
Not that one, but that one's true too. No, I'm
Oh.
talking. This guy was just some guy in his house, and he was like, "Hey, Craigslist ad. If you're a lesbian
Hey,
couple,
I've got a lot of sperm to donate. You need some sperm? I got a lot of sperm.
I just really want to spread my genetics, and I'm just interested in that. So like, I'll give you my sperm for free if you just have my kids with it, and I don't ever have to hear about it. But I'll be happy knowing I have a million kids.
Picturing the strangest
what?
long con ever in the form of that doctor,
had-
where it's like you tell somebody that you're immortal and that you'll follow them forever, and then you become a sperm doctor, and you just start just like spewing forth children. And so like
No, there was a
so
doctor
like
that
for
did that.
decades and decades,
Yeah.
there's just people that look like you.
That doctor did that.
Keep
Yes, a doctor
like
did
coming
that.
new and born. It's like for generations there'll just be another person that looks like you that's the same age again, and like this
It's-
person will be like a 70-year-old.
I think it's how they figured it out, because all these
Yeah.
people started looking the fucking
He'll be
same.
like, this guy will be like 70
No, they
years
figured
old,
it out
and he'll
because of a
start seeing
23andMe thing where the person
copies
was
of
trying
the
to find
immortal
his genetic father and found out that a lot of other people had the same father, and then they put two and two together.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's risky.
I think
Oh, it
23andMe
was. I
has
bet you
fucked
the
up some
moment they're like,
lives.
you can get a DNA test at home, and the guy was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, oh fuck,
That's
oh
how,
fuck,
yeah,
the scam's
that's how you
gone.
get.
Like,
That's how you get accidental incest.
Oh
how do you
no.
take backsies? How do you like, oh, can I get my sperm
Backsies?
back? Like, this is bad.
Just put that kid back in there. Just take it back.
Someone reached
It doesn't
out to me and
have,
was like, hey, I
it
think
doesn't
we
have a
have the
suck
same
and blow
father.
setting. You can't switch back and forth.
Says who?
Well, no, but I think I've had someone find out that my father was their father that way.
Did 23andMe?
Because I had someone reached out and was like, hi, I found out that your father is also my father, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. That
My
you're like a one in
condolences.
like 10 kids. What the fuck? I'm not impressed. I was like, well, maybe you're my brother. I was like, oh, get in line. I don't talk to the rest of them. I won't talk to you.
Well, what if this one's really cool? You don't know. I mean, maybe.
Well, they had 3 kids of their own. They lived in the Midwest. They had a very, how should I say, not great looking Facebook page full of anti-vax stuff. I was like, look, you know what? I'm pretty good. I've got enough siblings. I don't really care about more, and good luck trying to get my dad to give a shit about you. So, like, he cared about me, and look how I turned out. Clap, clap. Have fun.
I think you turned out good, Andrew.
That's not what any of my therapists have ever said. All of them have said the exact opposite.
I'm sure they didn't say that verbatim. You turned out bad. I think a therapist isn't supposed to say that.
Well, no, they don't say that. They usually use flowery words like, you're not well.
The therapist just comes back with, oh, this one's busted. Start
I
over.
mean, I feel like the moment you recommend medication to somebody, that's kind of what you're saying. When you're like, I feel like you should take this medication, probably because you're not
this
well
is a
mentally.
weird
It's like,
instance.
oh, well, it's not shameful. That's just what happens. People sometimes don't get the best upbringings, and then you deal with it with drugs. Presumably
These are
not
all-
bad drugs. Sorry, let me preface it.
yeah,
By
every
medication.
wrong answer.
Not like the bad kind. Go to doctors. They'll help you talk through bad things in your life. It's healthy.
This is mean. All these.
I think a lot of people are.
All these creatures are called trogs.
I mean, yeah,
Oh.
you can't let trogs live.
Oh, no.
We're like wiping out the trogs. That
The
seems
troglodytes.
a little uncalled for.
It's so you don't feel anything when you kill them. They're
Keith,
trying
they're all
to, they're trying to
NPCs.
like.
They don't feel pain.
I know it's a video game, Andrew. Thanks for reminding me.
I mean, maybe it's not to them, but to me it is.
I feel like that sounds like a plot line of something, where it's like I think there was like some. Sounds like a Black Mirror episode or something, where like
There was that Black Mirror episode where they had their brains uploaded to the computer.
That's like 4 of the episodes.
Well, it's a pretty, it's a pretty standard Flare concept. I mean, that's literally the basis of the Matrix.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I don't actually know who did it first, though.
I'm
Was
sure
the Matrix
it was
the first to do like, the world could be a
I mean,
computer?
I feel like there's got to be some
the Matrix
sci-fi
was
writing.
definitely before Black Mirror.
Oh well, yeah.
That
I
part's
mean,
definitely
that's,
the case.
I wasn't questioning that. I was just wondering if like the Matrix imply or borrowed that concept from somewhere else.
Sounds like
'Cause-
some Ray Bradbury kind of shit. So I
well, like
it's probably
50,
written-
70 used to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Tron
Or
was
sorry,
before the
50s
Matrix.
sci-fi used to be cool. There used to be some like weird, like futuristic stuff that they used to think would exist, and now it exists but really lame.
Like
Not as
if
fun.
nothing else, Tron was before the Matrix, and there might have been other ones before that.
Oh, Tron is before the Matrix. That's
By a
true.
lot.
But I don't think Tron counted itself as like a world real enough to be considered the real world. Like,
yeah,
you know,
but
there
you're still
wasn't-
uploading your brain into a computer. And there's also a lot
Yeah.
more, man.
Well, I think what about
But the brain downloading was true. Yeah, you're right.
Why are my testicles
Oh,
summer?
That's
Was a
pretty good
parody of
idea.
Lawnmower Man specifically, which I was like, no, somebody else saw that movie? Because I saw that as a kid and never heard it mentioned a
Somebody
single
else
time
saw
since
that?
then.
Maybe you went to the same Blockbuster you
No,
did.
yeah. I saw the movie as a kid, and it's one of those movies that's so strange and specific and no one else mentions that it feels like you made it up.
No, you know what one is? I'll tell you a movie that no one's ever talked about before. Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer.
That sounds amazing.
It is fucking amazing. It is the greatest movie of all time. Literally has a part where Jesus beats up atheists that are coming out of a van in clown car fashion, where atheists are just spewing out of this van in a
Oh,
clown
no.
car style.
I'm gonna get
and
beat up
Jesus
by
is just
Jesus.
beating them all up, and it was fantastic. Well, they were also atheist
You're
vampires,
gonna see all
so
of
it's
his
okay.
cum gutters.
But
Yeah, Jesus is gonna come
Oh.
after me. I'm an atheist vampire.
it's it is
identify as
fantastic.
atheist vampire.
Also, they had a transition scene that it's like Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, and it would do a thing of a cross spinning, getting closer to the camera, and then spinning back. So it was like, good times.
that
Good
sounds
times.
great.
That and Titanic 2, good movies.
Titanic 2.
Yeah, Titanic 2. That was also a movie.
It's just all the dead bodies floating in the ocean for 2 hours.
No, they built another Titanic, and
Direct
and it hit
sequel.
the same iceberg.
Oh my gosh! Have you guys ever heard of Thumbtanic, where it's all with thumbs?
Yes, I actually have a DVD copy of Thumbtanic and
What
Thumb
the
Wars.
fuck?
Thumb Wars. I love Thumb Wars. It's Star Wars, but it's all filmed with thumbs, Keith.
Why though?
Because why
Because,
But,
yeah.
but why though?
not? I don't know.
because at the time it was super funny to superimpose 2 eyes and a mouth on a thumb.
One thing that
It was
comes to mind for
basically
me is
Angry
that
Orange
there's
before
a-
Angry Orange existed.
There's a YouTube video called
But
Star
which
Wars
was
without
better
Star
than-
Wars.
Better than Angry Orange, though.
There's a
Wait,
movie.
what?
There's a video on YouTube called Star Wars Without Star Wars that tells the entire story of Star Wars from front to back without showing a single clip of Star Wars. That just shows other movies.
But it's like it's using other movies to describe it.
It's using
It's using fan
using
fan movies.
no, it's using scenes from other Hollywood movies to express the entire story of Star Wars without ever showing Star
What?
Wars.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they scenes that just look like the scenes?
Yeah, like they evoke the feeling or the tone or like the exact like sometimes the
That's-
exact like actions and whatnot.
Holy shit! What a like a.
It's because Star
what
Wars
a-
is such like a tropey thing, but also so many things take after it too.
I'm just wondering like how much of a gatekeeping is it to watch that? Where you're like,
Gatekeeping?
you won't understand unless you've seen all of Star Wars. It's like, what? Okay.
You won't understand this unless you're a real nerd who's seen the most watched movie of all time.
I was gonna say that's a pretty like.
It makes
low
like no
bar.
sense because you're like you
That
can't
is the
understand unless you
fucking
watch
most-
Star Wars. It's like, well, I wouldn't understand Star Wars unless I watched Star Wars.
That is
so
the
obviously,
most
yeah.
flimsy gate to ever keep, ever.
Hey, look, if there's a gate, someone's keeping it.
You
That's
know-
just how
Well,
it
yeah,
works.
that's just
I
that's
get
just
Keith-
nerds on the internet that want to feel superior.
Keith doesn't watch Indiana Jones. Keith.
Yeah.
Have you seriously still not seen Indiana Jones?
They're on Netflix
No.
now, fool. All of them.
Fucking Nazis.
Yes, apparently so was Back to the Future.
Yes, those two are my
I haven't watched
favorite.
either.
Like, I think my favorite.
Really?
Like,
You haven't seen Back to the Future, but you watch Rick and Morty.
I've seen Back to the Future 1 and Indiana Jones 4.
don't ever
Indiana
mention Indiana
Jones
Jones 4. Don't
That's
mention
the
that.
Well, that's the one I
ever
was
again.
alive to see in theaters.
Don't ever, not ever
That was just an
again.
era where I would just go to the theaters with people, and so it came
First
out.
off,
So
you
we
grew
saw
up in
it.
a time
That was
of rental
normal.
movies.
Yeah, I rented weird shit and had fun with it, like the Warriors of Virtue, which is better, obviously. It has elemental kangaroos. And there's a scene where the
Have you
Komodo
not
comes out
seen
and says, "Warriors, come out and play."
You mean the movie Warriors?
Yeah, he just
Warriors.
steals quotes from other movies,
Yeah,
like Duke
Warriors.
Nukem.
play.
What's the other one? I liked. What's
love
that one
that-
with
I love
Kiefer
that garbage
Sutherland as a
movie.
vampire?
You didn't watch Murder Party, but they have like so Murder Party is about the same guy that did Green Room. It's a part of his trilogy. It's Murder Party, Green Room, and Blue Ruin. And in Murder Party, there's a guy who's dressed up as one of the characters from the Warriors because it takes place on Halloween. And there's this whole like murder scene with all these characters that are dressed up like other characters. One of them's dressed up like the girl from Tron.
Oh, that's
And
pretty good.
They're just all in a room together, and they have a murder party. So
Yay.
it's so good. No one see that's a movie no one's watched, but it's so good. Someone go watch
I often
it.
like to find movies instead of just watching what everyone keeps telling me to watch all the
Well,
time.
no one's telling you but me.
Because there's like an endless list of
And I'm
movies
good.
you're
Telling
supposed to like. What do you mean you haven't
is
seen
different, Keith.
Godfather?
It's not like Indiana
What do you
Jones
mean
where
you
you had
haven't
a
seen
moral obligation to watch
Scarface?
it, but you didn't.
You have to watch
A
Scarface.
moral obligation, Key.
You're required to watch Scarface
Indiana
and Godfather
Jones
and Indiana
is
Jones
so
is Back
special.
to the Future.
You don't have to watch Scarface. It only has one line that matters, but Godfather is important.
Godfather 2 is especially important.
Godfather 2 is very good. But I mean, but Godfather 1 has the Godfather in it.
But The Godfather 2 is on the American Film Institute's greatest films of all time, and Godfather 1 is not.
Damn.
Well, that's because they don't understand.
Take
art.
it.
They don't understand art. They go together.
They don't.
You have to link. You have to like have the package deal.
It's not even that. It's just what's his name? Tony. What's the fucking guy's name who played him?
You gonna say Tony Soprano?
No, not Tony
Sometimes
Soprano.
sequels are just better.
The guy that played Scarface, also that one.
Was-
His name I'm forgetting right now.
No,
Which
not
character?
him. The guy who played
Al
the
Pacino.
Don in Godfather.
Oh, Marlon Brando.
Yeah, guy, the best mob actor of all time. There's no one does a better mob impersonation than he does.
That's why they put cotton in his mouth to make him talk like that in the
I
movie.
mean, true visionary.
Wow.
And that's why Dio Brando's name is Dio Brando, because he's named after Marlon Brando.
Brought
and
to you
Ronnie
by
James Dio.
Brought to you by the innovators that fed peanut butter to a horse.
Yeah,
Hey,
to get
look.
it to talk.
Ed the Talking Horse was a great show. All right, it was black and white. No one could tell he had peanut butter in his lips.
Have you guys heard of My Mother the Car? It's about a guy whose mother dies and possesses a car, and it's like a black and white TV show.
Wait, isn't that the plot of Herbie?
Is Herbie possessed by a ghost?
Yeah, I thought Herbie was possessed. Wait, I think the Disney Channel one is. Hold on, I think there's a Herbie. I think that's the one with Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, they remade it, huh?
Yeah, and I think that one has her mom as the car,
I just
which was
remember
very Evangelion, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable about her riding her mom. This is kind of weird.
Well, the thing about the TV show that was weird is that he would take girls on dates, and his
dang, they
mom
want to
would
boot
like,
you, Keith, for DPS low.
ooh,
They're trying to boot me? Oh, they just
Yeah.
booted me.
what do they boot you for? Being
They
bad.
booted you?
Yeah, they booted me. Wow.
Why, Keith? What'd you do?
Alrighty then.
Are you just leaving now?
Yeah. I'm not gonna get pinged for this, right?
You might get penalized for
Enjoy
leaving.
fighting a boss they just started without me. They're down 2 DPS. Suckers.
It's so fucking unnecessary.
Yep, and I did not get in trouble for leaving, so you're good to re-queue if you want to.
These fucking assholes.
Yeah, that's great.
We were
Welcome to WoW.
We were seamlessly beating the entire dungeon. Nope, there was not a single wipe.
Yeah, we
and
had
I got
no wipes.
booted
I had
because
no idea.
I got booted because my numbers weren't right.
Yeah, I didn't actually check before we left, but I don't think your numbers were low enough to get booted for.
That was baffling.
That was no, it's not baffling. I mean, wow.
They just thought, well, we don't like, even though it's going perfectly fine and we're winning. Instead of having this guy's current numbers, we'd rather have nothing and just get rid of him entirely. That's the smart thing to do.
I think their logic was like, yeah, we can replace this guy, but now that I left, it's like, oh, now they're fucked. Now they're gonna have to sit for a while to wait for me to come for 2 DPS.
Wow, fuck those guys. What dungeon was that?
I don't know.
I usually look at the achievement we unlock at the end to see which one it was, because then I can take that from the list. But now I'm like, fuck, we didn't finish it because they booted us.
Sorry, let me get to the top here.
So try not to do the same one again. Grim Batol, I think. I looked at my own DVR.
Yeah, Umbris was the
yeah, it's on YouTube. It's called the DVR feature.
Really?
Oopsie. Yeah, on YouTube you can rewind streams. That always works fine. All right, well, fuck those guys. I guess they can just not finish that dungeon. I mean,
they'll finish it eventually. They're just gonna finish it slower than if they had just not fucking kicked you out.
We're winning, but this could be more optimum, so evict him.
We could be winning more, which is the only thing that matters.
I don't feel like I was playing that differently, so I don't know what changed, but I think what may have happened.
They're just being.
What may have happened is halfway through the dungeon, I realized, oh, I have my Voidwalker out.
Oh, that's probably why. They're probably mad that you weren't.
My Voidwalker was out instead of my imp, so he was running up and punching things instead of shooting fireballs at it.
That's definitely why they did it. They were probably mad that you didn't have the right pet out.
Yeah, to be fair,
they took that as an assumption that you weren't playing your entire class right.
Taunt does get disabled automatically. And then I'm just distracted because we're doing all the chat. Because, you know, modern WoW is a hangout game where you barely pay attention.
Fine. Like you said, we didn't
normal.
Wipe, so I barely
pay attention every time we play this game.
Barely attention in general.
And I'm usually in first place. Historically, Andrew's like, what the fuck? Your spells are bullshit. Why are you winning? And I'm like, I'm not even looking at what I'm pressing. I'm just like, pew, pew.
Warlocks do a lot of damage just on their own. I don't know what the fuck is the problem here.
I just press Shadow Bolt a couple times, and then I summon every single one of my summons in a row, followed by the one that the Demonic Tyrant, which increases the duration of all your current summons. And then I just go back to Shadow Bolting again. And if Demon Bolt ever lights up in that process,
your life is meaningless. Like I just told you, your life is meaningless.
Yeah, well, they're about to be dead, so
their life is meaningless.
They're welcome to die with purpose.
Dang.
Joke's on you. You're a theme park attraction. Your existence is to stand there, say that line, die, and then come back.
See, that's that dark outlook that I just love about you, Keith.
Your life is meaningless. Someone's projecting their insecurities towards the player.
Oh god, could you imagine going on It's a Small World, but they're all crying?
Because they all know they're all right.
That's so. I don't like thinking about that, Andrew.
No,
that makes me scared.
Uh-oh, what happened?
You know, I always
Your
thought.
audio's gone.
Oh.
We're back. We're back.
Muted somehow.
Can you hear us?
I just died.
Yep. Okay. I was like, oh man, that joke was so bad they muted themselves.
No, I need to. I previously with Bird I rebound because I tried to set up my toggling muting for Overwatch.
Yeah.
And then I set it to T, but then I keep going bad. But now I remapped it to mouse 3, which made sense. I'm gonna mount. Let's bind it to. Edit keybind. There you go. Mouse 2 should be the clicking my mouse wheel. That's a thing I never do. So Okay, there
I
we go.
mean,
Now it's set to
as long
muting
as it's
my
something you
now
can
it's set, now
press.
it's set to clicking my mouse wheel. Okay. The so just now when I was unmuting us, I unmuted us by clicking mouse 3, which then dropped me off my mount in the air and killed me. Yep.
Oh no.
Because the thing I changed it to from T was a mouse button. I was like, well, I can't set to mouse whatever the front one of the 2 side buttons is, because that's what I have stealth set to on my rogue, and that'll constantly be a problem for me. So I'll set it to the one that's behind that, and then I'm like, oh fuck, that's what I set my mount to though. I've already used all my mouse buttons for WoW features.
So efficient.
Yeah, because it's because I mostly play my rogue, so I have a dedicated stealth button and a dedicated mount button, because those are the 2 most annoying things you constantly have to you just wish there was a button for.
That's
Which,
how
by
you can
the
tell I'm
way,
not a serious gamer. I don't have any of my mouse buttons mapped to WoW.
I just. Are you playing with a fancy mouse? I've never noticed that in my life.
Yeah, there's just 2 buttons on the side of this thing.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah, he doesn't
Secrets.
have like elite
got a-
hacksaws
it's
mouse
got-
with
I think
like
it's-
56 buttons.
Oh,
I've seen those before, and I'm just.
Yeah.
I think this mouse is called the
Zelo
Death
had
Adder.
one where it had like 10 buttons on the side, and he mapped it for every single spell on his bar. And I was like, dude, this is. How do you even press it? They're tiny buttons.
I tried that before. I hated it.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those. One of the hot things that was a fad for a bit around the time of Burning Crusade for this game was the weird like the numpad like claw keypad.
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I'm picturing in my brain.
Yeah.
It was the weird device where it was just like.
It was like a bear paw.
Yeah, it was just like a small grid of extra buttons, and you can map them just to functions for WoW, basically. And then you have like all your moves set to that instead of having to like, because like one issue with WoW is the fact that you just have these weird 2 long bars of skills on the top of your bottom of your screen, which means that the default hotkeys are just 1 through 0 on the top of your keyboard, and then shift 1 through 0, which, as you might imagine, I only actually use the hotkeys for like the first 5, and then everything past that I just click on, because I can only use the numbers 1 through 5 like on the fly like that.
You kind of just potato finger the whole thing because it's at some point your brain just isn't built to do that.
I can't find this question mark. Where the fuck is it? I'm just going to give up on it.
You probably have to take the teleporter.
What teleporter?
Read your damn quest.
No, you can't make me. I'll never read.
See, now I know why those people kicked you.
No.
This is different. This is a normal thing that happens. If you look up these... Whenever I get stuck on any quest in the world, if I look up like the WoW head page for it, there's a bunch of confused people discussing how to do the quest because they all just run autopilot and then hit a quest that was impervious to autopilot.
It is a valiant effort, but with bad results.
Does anyone know why Keith's screen has those purple glitter streaks?
That's called your display going out. You might want to contact somebody who can fix it for you.
What is he talking? Does he just mean my mount?
Sir, are you on shrooms?
Does he just mean the fact that I'm riding a nether drake?
I don't know.
Or does he mean all the glitter that's everywhere because it's a night elf zone?
It could be
if you mean when he's in combat, that could be
he might be
his
my dragon
spells,
snack.
but I don't
think there's any like errors happening in the stream. That's
Probably
weird.
not any errors.
Also, somebody else was like, "Is the conversation on the stream normally this ... interesting?" It's like it depends on how spicy Andrew feels.
Are you implying that this is tame? Because I can make it worse.
See, interesting could be like genuine, like that's actually very interesting, or it's like interesting, like how someone's aunt would say it, like, oh, that's very interesting. So I guess it depends on the inflection of the word interesting.
Oh, that's the interesting part I'm familiar with, because that's usually what happens when I talk about anything that's not common people speak. Like, yes, the intricacies of owning multiple waifus.
It's a doggo.
Interesting.
Old graphics doggo.
That's
though.
a complicated life you're living.
Look at these old ass graphics on this old ass doggo.
I mean, it's a balancing act. You just have to make sure that you don't have multiples in the same series.
There are so many
it
better
can be
looking
very tough.
wolves and WoW.
Especially rom-coms. Never have more than one waifu in a rom-com. That just hurts you twice for some reason. I don't know why you want that.
Dude, I know I've seen so many stupid romance animes, I know the dynamic of like everything, where it's like there's always the rival character who's like a childhood friend who shows up, who's like really pretty now, and then there's like all these different people that always show up, and I'm like, I know who that guy is, I know who that girl is.
The one I hate the most is either the reserved but proper, like the ones that are mature, responsible, usually have kind of like a shorter haircut, but are clearly never the main girl. They're never ever main girl, because the main girl is irresponsible and emotional
and fun and crazy.
And it's like, oh yes, this perfectly rational, beautiful woman right here is clearly unobtainable. No one wants her, clearly, for some reason. But this fucking Foon, who just won't shut the fuck up, is the only one that people want for some reason. Clearly, my mistake. How could I have the bad judgment here?
So I don't like the ones that are too reserved, because I think that they're boring. But I don't want traditional Japanese quiet woman. Yeah, I hate Penny.
You were gunning for Penny, and there were so many confused comments.
I'm sorry, guys.
Why is Stephanie so mad at Penny?
It's because I'm not Penny. I've never been Penny, and I can't be Penny. Okay. I'm the fucking
You've been watching the Ace Attorney series, right, Andrew?
The what?
You've been watching the Ace Attorney. So like she just was gunning for Penny in that playthrough for some reason. Just went aggro on her.
See, okay, so yeah, I hate
revolting,
characters like
apparently.
Penny. And then we were talking about fucking Until Dawn. I bought that game because I wanted to kill Hayden Panettiere, because I hate Hayden Panettiere.
Wow.
God.
Well, joke's on you. You had to beat the game to do that.
See, and that's why I didn't finish it, because I realized that she's like a main character, and I'm like, I can't kill Hayden Panettiere.
I'll be honest, I didn't finish it either, but that's because I couldn't kill the kids
they probably
in
meant
enough
these
time.
streaks.
I was like, this is taking way too long. I want someone to die today.
They probably meant these purple streaks.
But I don't like the preppy characters. So she reminds me of like the cheerleader from that show she was in, Bring It On or whatever. So I don't like her. I don't like those kinds of characters. I don't like the Penny types of characters. I like the quirky, fun, the artsy, weird girl character.
Yeah, those two vertical purple streaks in the middle of the screen indicate that if I press Demon Bolt, instead of taking 4 seconds to cast, it'll be instant. It's a proc.
I think my truest weakness
Mystery
is always
solved.
the tomboyish, I'm not pretty enough girls. Those are the best ones. The ones that are like, I mean, I'm not ugly, but I'll never be the main thing. It's like, no, you are the main thing in my heart. You matter. Fuck that ugly, loudmouth piece of shit. I don't like that one.
That low self-esteem is perfect.
It's not even the low self-esteem. It's just the idea of like, oh, I get it. You know, like that's not who I am. I'm not preppy and outgoing and all that stuff. I'll never be, interesting in that way. And it's like, what? No, that's boring. Don't be that way.
No, there's some
Be who you are.
There's always the trope where there's like the girl that everyone talks about, like she's a revolting she-beast that no one would ever love, and then she like takes her glasses off and puts her hair down, and suddenly she's like a supermodel, because of course she always was, and it was always like,
I think my favorite is the Kiss Him Not Me. That's my favorite one, because it's like, oh, she got thin and now she's super hot, and she's like, yes, this is great. I want all the hot boys to make out.
I love that. I love that one so much for that reason, because it's like she doesn't even want them.
Yeah, she doesn't want any of this. She's like, romance, fuck that. I want to see you romance on that boy. Mooch mooch right now.
I wish I had that magic power.
I really appreciate that it tries to do that dynamic of like, oh, the ugly girl became hot, but then it throws it on its head by being like, yeah, but she don't want to be hot. She just wanted to see boys kiss. It's like, oh. Same with it's different from Wallflower though. Like I didn't like Wallflower, where it's like, I'm very quiet and so I must be ugly, and it's like, I don't think that's how this works.
The perks of being a Wallflower?
No,
like the anime Wallflower.
Oh.
It has her being like, well, she's just quiet and reserved, and so she just assumes she's ugly because she's quiet and reserved. And like, that's what? What?
Anime always does that thing where they have a character that you're supposed to all acknowledge is ugly, because like it's a canon in the show that they're ugly, and like not as cute as everyone else. But like you look at them and you're like, they look just as cute as everyone else, because they're the main character, and they couldn't actually draw someone who was not cute. But it's like they're obviously just like a slightly plain version of everybody else. They're just as cute.
Clearly the solution is just to draw the protagonist as a low-res bird.
Uniquely attractive. They are just normal attractive. It's like, she's like, there's nothing special or it stands out about her. She doesn't have like yellow hair or purple eyes.
Oh gosh.
She's just a typical Japanese woman, and that's not good enough for me. I'm a main character. I need something with more pizzazz. Pizzazz.
I have all the waifus in the world to pick from.
Every rom-com is always like, well, I could go for a normal human being or this character. Like,
this girl has cat ears. I want that.
Pizzazz. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's better than like the weird cis-con stuff. I'll take that. Or I'll find anything better than that any day.
I just, like I said, I just draw the line at lollies. I just draw the line like hard no on the lollies.
I really get upset when there's like, when there's like a rom-com and one of the characters is clearly just lolly bait, or it's like, no. Go away. Go back to school.
The entire creep is just, the entire trope is just creepy and off-putting.
Well, yeah, that's it's all about wanting
everyone
to
who
fuck
defends
children.
it says the creepiest shit in the process of trying to defend it. You're like, no.
It's just basically a weird leftover of like, well, child marriage is illegal, but not in my heart. And it's like,
I don't like how these people defending this are like so intimately aware of like age of consent laws.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, so they're not hurting anybody. This is all not real, yada yada. But boy, I would like, if I was dating some guy and I found like his stash of like lollies, I'd be like,
his stash of lollies.
I'd be like, I'm sorry, dude, I can't do this.
I mean, if you found a stash of lollies, there's the first question of like, is it child? Because you have to be careful. Some lollies are just lollies.
That was a big boom.
I mean, but they're all drawn. So you get into that argument where it's like these people with these fetishes aren't hurting actual people. So it's like, what harm is it? Everyone has like weird interests that maybe they don't want to talk about that aren't hurting anybody, and that's fine. But I would just have a hard time with it personally because I'm the exact if I was in an anime, I'd be the opposite character of the lolly. I'd be like the tall Yankee woman. I'd be like the angry
do you watch
American.
Fruit Baskets?
Yeah, no, that's actually the character that made me know what that was, and I see that trope a lot about Americans. But like my friend, that was the first manga I ever read. My friend loved it. I was in the 5th grade and I read it with her, and she told me that I was that character for her. And so that's always been, I was related to that
she's
character.
a good character.
Yeah, no, she's awesome.
She does have kind of a tryst with a man that's like 2 times her age, but it's okay. I guess, because
no, it's fine. Shisho, whatever. Kyo Sensei.
She's a grown woman.
She's the tough girl, and my friend was like really shy and reserved, so she felt like Toru, and I was like her. Wow. I was like her
Main
American friend. See, I worry about her in real life because she's the sweetest girl, and she's this very tall Vietnamese girl, and I'm so worried that some creepy American weeb guy is gonna try to marry her, and so I have to like defend her all the time. Yeah, don't marry my friend. Her name's Mai.
Don't talk to my friend, you weeb.
I'd have to beat you up.
And she could.
She's too nice. I'm worried about her because she's
I love
very
the idea
shy
you walk
and
up
adorable.
and just like you just give that one line in Japanese where it's like, I'm going to kill you. It's like Shinderu. What is it?
Omaiwa.
Yeah, that one.
Oh right, I didn't show you this picture yet. Yeah.
Oh.
Because Andrew photoshopped did a
there it is.
A JoJo Photoshop of your picture with your dog.
Yeah, I put the sound effects.
It's beautiful. I love it. My super dog.
I love the I saw in the Discord you posted the picture where it's like yelling. It's like
Put that in the pets.
Kiki would be my stand.
The pets part of the Discord.
Decided.
There we go.
Oh no.
It's Andrew's handiwork.
I don't think Shadow could ever be my stand. He's too hyper and excited.
My stand sits at the door for a long time waiting for someone to come home.
Oh no, I'm home all day now.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Your dog's having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my stand would probably just be the Hulk, probably.
Just the Hulk.
Yeah, just the Hulk. I would just have a really loud green thing yelling all the time forever.
Forever. That's what the Hulk is to you.
I mean, that's what it feels like to be mad for me, is just yelling forever. And my assumption is Hulk is just like the amalgamation of, or a not amalgamation, the physical representation of nerd rage is what I imagine the Hulk is supposed to be.
Do you guys ever watch Dexter's Lab? Do you guys remember like their spin-off of like the Infraggable Crunk?
Justice Friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was back when a lot of cartoons were cartoons within cartoons.
Van Halen, and it was like the Infraggable Crunk or something like that, and he's purple.
There were so many shows within shows back then.
Valhallen, they call him Valhallen.
Yeah, Valhallen.
Because
And he played like a rock guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just Valhallen.
Yeah.
And they had like a Captain America knockoff. I forget what his name was.
Because Dexter's Lab also had a monkey.
Yeah, and they had Agent Honeydew, or Agent Honeydew or whatever, who was a hottie patati. He's the cutest.
You know what I was kind of upset about? I saw the commercial for the new Scooby-Doo movie, and they changed, or so they did the thing that really sucks, and they gave the part of, do you remember Captain Falcon? Where he was like supposed to be a Batman knockoff? Yeah,
they changed the dog
they gave
to
it to
actually
fucking
be like
Ryan Reynolds' voice.
Oh.
And so now he just sounds like fucking Ryan Reynolds, and I'm like, God damn it,
They're gonna
stop
talk about
doing
how they
that.
changed the dog from being like a guy. They changed the dog from just being like a gray dog and like a green like runner's vest or like label to like now he's just like a straight up
now he's
dog.
an actual
Terminator
android dog. Yeah, but he also doesn't speak with his lisp anymore, which is really upsetting.
I know, he was cute. He was a cute dork. I liked him being all dorky and lame.
Herring.
Yeah, he
We're
was
gonna
awesome.
get to the top of this crime. He was basically like Inspector Gadget the dog. He was just like, oh, I've got a thing I can do for that. And he just like pumped out a boxing glove out of his chest or something.
You should have voiced him, Andrew. Why didn't they ask you?
Have some candy.
Have some candy.
Oh.
I have a problem where I hear a voice, I'm like, I love that voice. I want that voice. It will be my voice. And then I just work as hard as I can to make
you're doing that voice, and what comes to mind to me is just like I think the villain from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love that voice.
Was that Alan Tudyk?
Yes, that was Alan.
Because a lot of things are Alan Tudyk, who's like the best person.
Gottfried is the one I wish that's like my one day.
You want to be able to do Gilbert Gottfried?
Yeah, dude, that's the greatest fucking voice.
It is. Dude, I
can't speak. I don't know how to. Yeah,
that's a
really
hard one to do. They probably shred your vocal cords.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch the PSA
it's like,
where he
yeah, I can't get the pitch. The pitch is what's hard.
He does the
for me.
Aflac.
The aristocrats!
Yeah, the aristocrats!
Yeah, he's like,
What are you doing?
yeah, I can't do the pitch. I hate that. I love his voice though.
I haven't listened to him that much. I don't have that much to pull on.
That's a good question. I should listen to his voice real quick.
Watch the PSA where he voices a fire alarm.
Oh no! Wait a second. That sounds accurate though. I can hear that.
Do you remember that one? It was like a video to like tell kids like change the parents like change the batteries in your fire alarm system. But it was a fire alarm that was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried.
What is
and
Zaku
it would just
from
go
fucking Aladdin?
It just go change your batteries. Like
Don't forget to change your batteries. It's me, Gilbert Gottfried.
When you said don't forget to change your batteries, you sound like the hairy grandpa from 8 Crazy Nights.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's a technical foul.
That movie grossed me out a little bit.
Was it the Pyramid of Pooping Deer?
Probably. Probably. Like, I can't remember that because I probably blocked it out, but I just think to myself, I know that movie grosses me out for some reason. That's probably why.
Yeah. Because that's a moment.
Oh, Adam Sandler.
I mean, that's like the best thing he's made because there's not really a lot to pick from.
Did we lose Andrew?
He's gone forever. He's
Sorry,
never
I was trying to
coming
listen to
back.
Gilbert Godfrey, but it's really hard to figure out how to do that voice.
Gilbert Godfrey.
I was trying to listen and see if if there's a way I could get that voice. I want it for myself.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
I like Adam Sandler. So I liked Big Daddy, which I know a lot of people don't like that one, but I like that one because I don't know. And then I liked Happy Gilmore, and Billy Madison's like my fucking favorite. And oh, and he's really good in Punch Drunk Love, and no one talks about that one. He's serious in that one. And
But I also think that's an example of a movie he didn't make. He's just like hired for it.
yeah.
Wait, people hire Adam Sandler for movies?
Yeah, he's been in movies that weren't Happy Madison productions.
That is
Those are usually the ones
surprising.
that
I did not know
people are
that.
tricked into liking him.
He was in Rain on Me and Punch Drunk Love, and they were both very serious roles, and he did really
forget,
good in
'cause,
them.
like,
And
didn't
like the Leibowitz tapes, which came out as like a Netflix movie that won some awards, so it was actually very good.
I feel like that's what happened. Isn't that what happened with like this year? There was a movie that was like, oh my god, Oscar for Adam Sandler, and I'm like, just because of its apparent quality, I just assumed that he didn't make it.
No, he
watch
didn't
that.
make it. He,
Yeah.
I believe he starred in it. I think he produced it though. I think he like put the money down for it.
Yeah. But there's a difference there.
But yeah, but I mean, obviously he has a freaking movie studio company, so I'm
Because
sure.
the stuff that he like writes and or directs and usually produces is just like, it's just trash. It's so much trash.
I had a friend who told me that he thought that Jack and Jill, that movie, was like a really great movie, and I made fun of him for months.
Yeah,
I was
That's
like,
rough.
That's really embarrassing. Yeah.
That's a rough thing to admit publicly.
It's brave of you to be like such a charity case to still be their friend.
it wasn't even like he didn't think it was like embarrassing. But as soon as he said it, I was like, "Excuse me, can you
Sir.
repeat that?"
This is a thing you said in real life. Like you can't take this back. No Control Z. Like,
I'll remember this
fucked
forever.
up.
There are many opinions, but that one is wrong.
I'll bring it up on a podcast years later in front of two strangers that don't know you. I'll remember this until I die.
That's rough. I don't think I've ever met a person who said that was a good movie.
I need to get
Yeah, that's.
I hope you never do.
Yeah,
That's when
me
Red Letter
too.
Media did their big multi-part interrogation of his studio, where they're discussing how like he really does just seem to like choose projects entirely based on like where he wants to go on vacation that year.
No, he doesn't
That's-
give
I
any
mean-
fucks, which I kind of appreciate that he openly just is like, I don't care.
And like often the entire
guess.
premise of the entire film will just be an extended like product placement. It's like
Well,
throughout
that's
Jack
how
and
you
Jill,
get
like every
funding.
scene just constantly has like it's just like is a commercial basically with stuff pointing at you, to the point where by the end they go on like a cruise and the entire film's an ad for that real life cruise liner company. And I think the plot is that they're trying to get Robert De Niro to do an ad read. And
For
then
Dunkin' Donuts.
yeah, and then they just actually have Robert De Niro doing an ad for Dunkin' Donuts in the movie.
No, it's not Robert De Niro. It's Al Pacino.
Is it Al Pacino?
Because
Yeah, they have
they're doing a
Al Pacino.
cappuccino joke or something.
Oh, right.
Like Dunkaccino.
Yeah.
Oh, Al Pacino.
So
why?
it's like it's just such a long extended ad. It's just back-to-back
You were
ads. Like
incentive
every
a
part of
woman.
the film is
You
another
were-
ad, and you're paying to see ads.
You're an amazing
Dude,
actor,
I mean-
Al
strung
Pacino.
together with bad jokes.
Why did you do this?
Imagine how much money he probably got.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to watch any of his films ever.
Scent of a
It's like,
woman.
wow, what a brilliant business mind.
Oh man, that hurts my heart.
I mean, that's literally the basis for why people like Elon Musk.
The brazenness of it all is the fact that he thinks and knows correctly that he can get away with making stuff like that, and his audience won't turn on him
Y'all see
Why would
a
they?
because they won't even see it as
They're
being
there
an
for the
ad.
fart
They won't
jokes
even.
and the ha-has.
They literally won't even register to them. Like they're being tricked into watching an ad, and that's like what the whole movie is, and it's all like lazily thrown together garbage.
But
It's
Keith,
like,
he went.
God, all of my older family thinks Adam Sandler's fucking hilarious, and all of his movies are great. All these fucking
There you
Adam
go.
Sandler, Drew Barrymore movies.
Drew
I want an
Barrymore was
Oscar.
good.
Yeah, why
once.
is Drew Barrymore in all those movies?
I don't know. There's so many of them because there's 50 First
Is he
Dates
holding?
and there's
Does he have like blackmail on
there's
her?
the one
Is
where
there
they're
some
in
kind of like
Africa.
hostage situation there? What's going on? Drew, next
I
movie
think
you're in,
she's
blink
just-
twice if you're okay.
I think she's just reliable and she likes the money.
I mean, that's fine, but
I'm sure that just
The Adam
Adam
Sandler
thinks she
part's
works.
the part that I'm concerned about.
I'm sure that Adam's just like, yeah, she works well with all this, and she's like, yeah, I like paid.
Oh, you know,
I would like more paid.
I really like The Wedding Singer. They're both. That's probably the one movie where they're both in that I was like, I really like
That's
this one.
that's the one Adam Sandler thing that I reference a lot. Is the Somebody Kill Me Please, which I think also The Wedding Singer is also not an Adam Sandler movie. It just has him in it.
Well, it isn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying it like you know
yeah,
he's in
it's
it,
not an Adam Sandler movie.
but he's a part of it. Like it's an Adam
Yeah.
Sandler movie because he's in it.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's just the fact
it's
that
not-
he
it's
is
not
himself a movie maker causes like a distinction because he's just responsible for like the string of like worst theatrical releases of the decade. Like he makes the lowest quality stuff that consistently goes to theaters until he realized he'd make even more money by selling it to Netflix. So now he does that, which is kind of like a release.
Yeah, because we don't have to
It's like, oh,
see
we're
it on
free
TV
now.
anymore. Not that we watch TV anyway, but it's like
Unfortunately, it just made more space for more Disney products, so it didn't actually help
Hey.
the movie industry get more variety or quality.
I mean, the
Like,
way it's
Adam
going right
Sandler's out of
now,
the way, that's-
movie theater industry's dying.
If
Huzzah!
there's one less theatrical release of an Adam Sandler movie every year, that makes space for one more live-action Disney remake every year. Yay!
Well,
I
no,
think
but it's gonna go
Disney's
straight
getting ready
to-
to stop doing movie theaters too.
yeah, I was gonna say everything's gonna go straight to streaming services now.
I think they're gonna lock all their stuff to the streaming service because then they get a consistent revenue stream rather than hoping people show up to watch their movies.
But apparently, okay, so you know AMC like threw that fit about was it Paramount saying that?
Yeah,
or-
Paramount.
But
Because
Whoever
Paramount
made
Trolls did
Trolls.
way better outside of theaters than they expect it to do in theaters.
But I guess this has happened several times before, which all the news outlets are not mentioning. But like apparently this has already happened, and every time AMC does like a throws down the gauntlet, it gives them an ultimatum, and every time they've crumbled and not done it. So they're hoping that this AMC's like last shot. They're
They're
gonna do
just
it again.
hoping people don't notice.
But apparently this has already been a threat, and it's already something that they've threatened, and they've already gone out of
Yeah.
it several times. So maybe they'll do it again.
I think this is going to be the push because now all the streaming services they're at the point now where it works. They can literally get consistent revenue, and the only people who have streaming services are big paying players. Wow, instant wipe, brah. That hurts.
What was the rule to this fight? Opening the built into the game walkthrough. Where is it? Adventure guide?
I don't know what we were
Azeroth.
supposed to do different. What we do?
That was nasty.
What we do wrong?
Was it ground slam? That
Getting
doesn't seem. Ground slam would do almost my health bar of damage.
Maybe we were in the radius of it.
Osric builds up his strength and then slams the ground in front of him, dealing 9,000 physical damage to all enemies within 41 yards of the impact point.
It says when he stomps, channel run out. Fuck is channel run out? Hello, can you please explain the
When he
video
stomps,
games
channel
to me?
run out. Oh, when he channels a stomp,
Oh,
like
just
channeling
run away?
a spell. He means when he's charging us
Okay.
down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because yeah, that's this
All
thing
right.
I just read about how it's within 41 yards of the impact point, he does about 10,000 damage, which currently
I'm
is
not gonna
how
be
much
anywhere
health
near
most
that.
of us have. I'm in second place on health. Weird.
So he's a one-hit
Are we
KO
in a
for you
guild?
guys.
I'm not in a guild. Did you say yes to something?
Did I say yes to something? Am I part of a guild?
Did you
I
accidentally
am
join
part of a guild. How do I get in a guild?
Probably because you thought it was a queue up for the raid, queue up for the dungeon message, but it was actually you getting into a guild.
Do you leave a guild? There you go.
You
And
accidentally joined a guild when you thought
All right.
we were queuing for instances or something. You just
Yeah.
reflexively said yes to stuff.
Is that how people end up in cults? They're like, how did I end up in this cult?
Well, you respond to a questionnaire.
I mean,
It was you made the
Yes.
ultimate sin mistake. You made eye contact with somebody at a Starbucks.
You're
Now you're bound for
That's-
life.
what is it like?
That's
You're in the
the-
clear or whatever.
That's always the fear.
In the clear is a Scientology one.
Yeah, getting clear or something.
Of Far Cry 5 is that they just want you to say yes to everything. Because obviously, if you're in a cult, you say yes. Otherwise,
To everything.
yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna figure out it's an illusion. Keith, did you not take the teleporter?
Is there a teleporter?
Yeah, right next to where we spawned. There was a little teleporty thing.
Well, we also have to wait for this other guy that's with me.
He didn't take the teleporter either.
No.
Tisk tisk.
Why would I know there's a teleporter? I've never been here before.
Oh, that's true.
I was too busy holding W and looking at what the ability was to kill us in the adventure guide and reading. I was reading the strategy guide that's built into the game. So much details.
That's for babies.
Too many streaming services. I am okay with that.
Yeah.
The more the better, because
supposed
the
to want
moment
them
you
to
start
compete with
having a
each other.
monopoly, the moment it gets bad.
Yeah, it's bad if one thing runs everything.
But at the same time,
It's like when
you
Steam
gotta
was
be
the
careful.
only thing that you could get video games on the PC.
Yeah,
It's like that's just what the
I don't know.
platforms were. Those are the platforms:
People-
Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Steam. As if
People get mad at
PC wasn't
Epic
an
is-
open platform.
is baffling to me. It's like, yeah, and guess what happened the moment Epic showed up? Steam started changing shit. I wonder why. It's almost like they had
Fear.
competition. Wow.
And Steam does have competition. Whenever I look at it, I'm always kind of amazed looking at it. When you look at like when you look at all the top games on Twitch, because that's the only metric I really know to look at to try to tell what games are most popular right now or whatever, is to try looking at the top games on Twitch. And usually, if you look at like the top like 10 or 15,
Grand Slam, get away.
usually if you look at like the top 10 or 15 games on all of Steam, I mean on all of Twitch, usually like 1 or 2 of them are available on Steam in total. It's kind of nuts. Because they will
Fuck, I didn't see the
all
Grand Slam. Damn it.
they will all be there'll be like a couple Blizzard games, and then like League of Legends is in its own launcher, and then there'll be like 1 or 2 like Ubisoft and Origin and Epic games and so on. So it's like every single thing on the list will be games that aren't in the Steam store, except for like a couple of them. I'll check the list after this instance is over. Y'all keep getting killed by Ground Slam. Naughty, naughty.
I didn't know. He walked up to me and I didn't notice he was casting it. I was actually trying to
We gotta
do
be really
pretty
careful
good.
because when he ground slams, he also knocks people back, and we didn't clear all the enemies around here,
Yeah.
so we can get thrown directly into them.
Oh, you
Man,
have the ability to res. Damn it.
Our healer had 1,000. I mean, our tank had 1,000 health left, so I put it on him in case he went down, so he'd get back up and make me not die. But then he lived, so now he just still has it on him. Or like right now when he dies, do it. Nope.
I hope so.
a
Please
big,
die.
nasty thing.
Please go away forever.
I guess we're gonna have to kick you for low DPS, Andrew.
I mean, I'm
Ain't
still
doing
third on the
ain't
DPS
doing no-
chart.
ain't
I'm
doing
now
no
second.
damage when you
and me are
dead.
first and second. So
Shit.
you're first, I'm second. So I don't
Go away.
I mean,
Give it to me. There can only be one. Uh-oh.
oh boy. It's dangerous. He's casting ground. I'm on a jam. And welcome to the slam. I'm kind of mad that they changed the logo for Space Jam 2.
The fuck does that mean?
What did they change it to?
They
There's
have a
a
new
Space
logo.
Jam 2?
It's not,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a Space Jam 2. It's coming out next year? This year? I don't know.
I thought it was supposed to be this year, but I don't think
I mean,
they're
everything's gonna be
happening,
later
so.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did they change it to? How did they change the logo?
Well, it's a new. Okay, so they changed the logo to be dumb, where they tried to make a combination of. If you look it up, that they
gonna
tried
look
to
it
like
up
do
right
a
now.
fancy thing with the A. Here, hold on. Space Jam 2. Give me some pictures. So they tried. Damn it.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, they tried doing some kind of fancy shit where the A is the same for both space and jam,
Yeah,
but the
and-
rest of the letters don't line up, so they had to use the ring to kind of cover that mistake up, and it just
I don't
so
like
now it just has a
that.
really Yeah, I don't know.
So like
It's
instead
dumb.
of the Looney Tunes ring being in the back, like the iconic Looney Tunes ring being in the background of Space Jam, they use it to
Yes.
hula hoop around the word Space Jam, which I
Correct.
don't like.
Which I don't like. I would have been more receptive to just a really dumb looking 2 attached onto the current logo or the old logo, or some kind of play on the old logo
Wait a minute.
that still keeps the visuals.
Wasn't
I have no nostalgia for Space
LeBron
Jam.
James was supposed to be in Space Jam too.
Well, look, we don't talk about that.
Maybe that's what the problem. Maybe that's why it's not out.
What happened to LeBron James?
He died
He died.
Did
in
he
a
also?
helicopter
Oh, he died too.
accident
I thought
this
that was
year.
No, I thought that was Kobe.
Oh, you're right. It was
did
Kobe
I
Bryant.
fuck? Oh
Sorry.
no!
Yeah.
I'm the worst.
whatever.
Because now people get mad if you throw something and say Kobe.
Oh yeah.
That's
okay,
why I remember
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I'm like, LeBron James is a complete.
For the
human.
record, I don't follow a lot of professional sports.
I don't.
so don't
yeah,
kill me.
I don't
people.
follow any sports.
Don't kill me. I know
Wait, Don
Keith
Cheadle's in
Ballard
it?
is the
Why?
name of a hockey player.
Yep. That's the joke of my Discord name.
Don Cheadle's really cool. I liked him in Hotel Rwanda.
Rwanda.
And in that,
Wait, is Bill Murray not going to be in?
is he not
is-
going to be in it?
Was he ever
he
going to
not
be
gonna
in
be
it?
in it?
What does Bill Murray have to do with Space Jam?
He was in the first one.
He was in the first one.
He was in the first one.
Yes.
What? Are you joking me? He was the
I
most
don't-
important character in the first one.
I'm pretty sure that's Michael Jordan.
No, Michael Jordan was just a brand name to get people in the seats.
Isn't he
Bill
the main
Murray was
character?
the star. Bill Murray won the game.
Bill Murray's the main character.
Who's
The
Bill
main
Murray?
character.
The main character.
The main character.
In Space Jam?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Michael Jordan's just a has-been who needed an excuse to get back into
Are
basketball.
you sure we're not mixing this up with Osmosis Jones?
No, he was also the main
Bill
character
Murray's
in
the
that.
main character.
There's Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray was technically the main character in Osmosis Jones, although
Yeah.
it all took place in his body, so I guess can argue where he might also be God. I don't know.
I think I watched Space Jam once as a kid and never again. I don't think I ever liked it.
That's unfortunate. You know what
Man,
also upsets
they
me?
played in school.
I don't
For us
care
all the
about.
time.
I don't care about Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse or any of like the mascots for
Bugs Bunny
animation
is cool.
studios.
Wait a second.
Mickey
there are
Mouse
two
is
different
kind of a
things here.
punk ass.
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny are not the same.
I just
thing.
don't care about like the
Bugs
mascots.
Bunny is like Bugs Bunny's actually pretty badass. He's like a cheeky ass motherfucker.
Yeah,
just-
I
he
think
just
Bugs
trolls
Bunny's
people
less
all
of
day.
a mascot and more of like a kind of a.
I think the
an
only
icon.
movie I've seen that had Bugs Bunny in it that I ever
He's
cared
such a rude
about
boy.
was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
He's hardly.
Oh my
In
god,
that.
that's like the lowest level of interaction between
He's technically in it.
Bugs Bunny and the story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
If you go to like the
think
old
that was the
school
one that has a
Bugs
scene
Bunny
of-
cartoons, he's a really good character.
It has like bugs
He's
and
hilarious.
Mickey falling
He's
off
very
a cliff or
mean.
something.
Yeah.
Should have taken that left turn at Pismo. This isn't Pismo Beach. Should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was Albuquerque.
That stood out. That
Until
always
it's
stood out
Florida,
to me.
in
I'm
which
like,
case he saws it in half.
Beach.
No,
There's a lot of America, but I know that one.
I think Bugs Bunny's more for the people than Mickey Mouse is. I think Mickey Mouse is just trying to enslave us
there's
all.
so many creepy. Wow, where are they all coming from? They're freaking me out.
I would say Mickey Mouse is more of a is more of an ideal, and Bugs Bunny is more of a like.
He's like a ragtag anti-hero.
I mean, Bugs
yeah,
Bunny.
I would say-
Mickey Mouse is such an old character. He predates voices in media.
well, he predates animation.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he's just so far back that he literally was just a dancing mascot, and they had to build character out from there.
yeah.
But now he's too perfect. He can't. His
Well,
ears are always
I mean,
spheres,
he's
and
the
he.
Superman of the Disney.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? That's a good way
He-
of putting it. He's too perfect. He's the Superman of cartoon characters.
He also should be public domain by now.
Well, they can't do that. Then everybody can make Mickey Mouse stuff.
Yes, make new things.
No,
Everyone
Mickey's
who
only
actually
one
made
thing.
Mickey
He
is dead.
Mickey.
He is Mickey. He
Look.
is eternal.
If you don't think that having a major media conglomerate alter the way that copyright is handled in the United States, then who is the right person to deal with it? A third-party person? That would make zero sense. They would be unbiased and therefore let Mickey go to the bad people.
Just, it's the ultimate irony of the fact that they have this long history of profiting off of public domain stories, but then they change the rules to make sure none of their stories become public domain.
Including the ones that they took from public domain.
Yeah. It's like all these things from like Snow White to Cinderella to every other element, like The Little Mermaid and so on, they're all them using other people's stories specifically because of that policy. And then they're like, well, we can't let this rule apply to us. That'd be
well
fair.
So,
and that's not how capitalism works. Once you make enough money, you just rewrite the rules.
And to some credit, that's not Walt Disney's fault. He died before that even was a thing to worry about.
I always wonder what he would think about. I mean, I know that
he would absolutely fucking hate it. There's no way he was gonna let the people. He would never let people come to Disneyland dressed like fucking slobs. Wheelchairs in Disneyland? Fuck you. Go home. You're not allowed. Disneyland is for only upright walking, well-dressed American, non-communist motherfuckers. Disneyland is not for the masses.
He was combing through his employees and like removing the communists and so on.
Well, he considered people who joined unions to be communists.
He was union busting and so on. Like he was a real shitty person.
Well, Walt Disney was not a great guy. He was, however, very, very good at building a great user experience. He cared very much about how people's immersion in the world was, but he hated the people that immersed themselves into it.
I don't know if you. I know you watch all those theme park videos too, and I can't remember which person made it, but there was that one about like
because we all watched Defunct Land.
There's Defunct Land. There's a few of the different ones, but there's like
Disney.
There was that one where like some guy made a video on like the company party that Walt Disney threw for his employees.
That was Defunct Land.
Yep,
that was Defunct Land, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they all had to be like dressed in a certain attire. They had a very strict schedule. Like it's gonna be like badminton from this time to this time, like. Dining from this time to this time.
There's all these weird policies.
They fucked it all up.
They fucked it all up and got drunk and like all had sex with each other and like ruined everything. But like Walt Disney was very disapproving of all that fun.
He like left.
They had all these weird policies as a company where like they had individual floors for like single men and single women, and then the couples were on.
Couples had to be on a different floor.
Correct, and people couldn't date each other, so like you weren't allowed to date
but they kept doing it.
The coloring
It's
girls.
constantly happening. Yeah, the coloring
and then
girls.
when you did, you had to tell Walt that you wanted to go out with one of the coloring girls, and he would have to approve of that.
Like you're like a father or something.
Yes.
Creepy.
This is also during the era where airline companies told women to hike their skirts up in job interviews so they can check that their legs were fly ready.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means
what
that
are those words
if
you
their
just
legs
said?
didn't look
I didn't
good
like
in a skirt, then it wasn't going to be acceptable because they had to wear them short skirts. Otherwise, who's going to pay $1,000 to fly to fucking Milwaukee?
Maybe someone who needs to go to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. That's the thing. No one needed to go to Milwaukee.
Somebody
airliners needed people to desperately
needs to go to Milwaukee.
Have you looked at airlines? They're crumbling because people aren't just wildly taking trips all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're having a hard time right now.
No one needs to go anywhere. People just want to.
Well, I guess right now they're really fucked because the thing is even after this whole thing's over, they're considering the fact that people are still going to want 2 seats separated from each other because a lot of these like actions that we're taking are going to be pretty permanent for a while, and they can't make enough money having there be an empty seat between 2 people. So there's no way for them to be profitable. They're trying to figure out how they're going to survive because if they may cut,
and that's okay. That's perfectly good. I'm happy with the airline industry crumbling.
Well, what if you need to go somewhere?
Then the government will step up and fucking do something about it, and they will create some kind of. I mean, if the government doesn't, then good luck keeping this economy afloat.
Oh god, I'm under attack. I'm trying to read the internet.
The problem is like you have to. It's similar to power lines. Well, what happens when, we're actually in a situation now with internet where people don't have good enough internet at home, and they're like, well, how How do we deal with that?
How are we gonna sell all of our videos and so on if people can't stream
how do you
right?
keep? I wonder if maybe there should be this regulation on
Really, you just gotta lower the
so
video
that way there's
quality
a
on
mandatory
absolutely
amount
everyone
of
and
people,
not tell
like
them.
all of them, who have internet. Maybe it's similar to how we do with power, where we ask the government to build these power lines that they then pay for, and other companies then pay to use, thus paying the government for using those lines. Then that's how it gets paid for. That would be crazy. It would almost be what's the word, sane. Whereas now we have a wild west of internet companies going like, you know what, all those people in that neighborhood, fuck them, they don't need internet. And they go, well, I guess I don't get internet, and then no one does anything about it.
I agree with, like, for a long time people have been lobbying to have the internet be like a public service, and I totally agree with that. Are you suggesting that like airlines should also end up being a public service?
Airlines should be a form of it should be similar to trains. It's a necessary means of mass transit that the country needs to be stable. There's no reason why the government doesn't have its own
trains right now.
Airlines. Like, the government should own an airline. There's no reason why there isn't. The UK does this. The UK has their own government-owned airline to prevent the unfortunate side effect of companies going under, which has been a very common staple around the world prior to COVID-19, is that airliners have been dropping like flies recently.
But if we start
because they keep buying too many fucking planes.
Transportation and healthcare and internet for free, then how are we going to be a capitalistic society?
It's not free. You still pay for it.
I know.
Which is the thing, I don't understand why people don't say that.
Well, because
people keep saying like, well, it's free, the government buys it. Okay, but they don't pay for our tickets.
But they want a competitive market. They want there to be able to be
There's no competitive
competing.
market. That's a lie. Because if they wanted a competitive market, then why the fuck are there monopolies everywhere?
Because those ones pay under the table lots of money.
Well,
but then where's the free market?
When it comes to internet and so on, what they do is they just pre-agree on areas to not compete with each other, and so they just
like rival gangs.
I'll take the northwest of America,
monopolies.
and you take the southeast of America, and blah blah blah, and they just carve up the nation so they can all just not deal with each other, because then they don't have to compete.
There is no profit in competing with each other. So why compete when you can just create a lack of the resource and thus profit? And there's nothing you can do about it, because we already did something about it. We broke up AT&T specifically because of this problem, and then AT&T went, yeah, but what if we just bought everything back? And the government was like, why? Why do we even fucking break you apart then? It's like, I don't know, I'm just gonna buy it all again. Thanks, Singular. Hey, here, welcome back home. SBC, welcome back. No one ever said anything when AT&T just became itself again. And now we're back to being a monopoly.
There's often a back and forth, where there's like, because of the way that the entire country kind of like cycles who's in control of things. It's like, okay,
there's too much
you guys want us to break up our monopoly. Well, in 4 years, all of you won't be working here anymore. Exactly. And they'll just like make a point to have the right people. Like they'll literally have their own employees become the new politicians to change policy in their favor.
I think they're just like really so set in this really high up position that it's hard to like get these people out of their stuck
and they set up the country to work the way they want it to, and then just go right back to the company into their old position.
Like, the person in charge of the FCC was an executive for Comcast. That's unacceptable. That's a conflict of interest, and I don't want that person ever to hold that position. But too bad. Now he's there, and we can't get rid of him until his 10 years up, presumably. And in that time, he's just dismantling a bunch of regulations that are kind of necessities to keeping things good. But that's fine, because presumably
it's like how Trump puts oil people in control of the Environmental Association and stuff like that. It's like, wow.
Everyone just has friends, and they're
not even having a pretense of caring.
And they've just...
it's fine. It just creates... You just quickly destroy the thing you want to profit off of, thus no longer having profit. It's a weird short con that's only going to hurt you in the long run, because you're going to run out of money before you run out of profit.
That's a very like Dr. Seuss Onceler situation.
Well, yeah, because that's the whole point of the fucking one slur.
Yeah.
Like the whole moral of the story is like, yeah, business people are bad people. Don't trust business people. They make bad decisions.
Good on you,
You
Dr.
should probably
Seuss.
trust. Yeah, and then people are like, Dr. Seuss a fucking communist. Fuck him. Like, oh, okay. All right, great.
I need to target
He had some hardcore political comics in the day.
His,
They all do. All of them. Like, there is no such thing as a good person. There's morally questionable people and morally less questionable people. But you can't just be like, this guy, he's a bastion of good.
I don't remember seeing Dr. Seuss's political comics and being like, oh no.
No,
or
Dr.
anything.
Seuss was, I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it just depends on your views of politics.
He,
If you're
Yeah.
a diehard like capitalist, then he was literally Satan to you. But if you're just a normal human being, you're like, it's kind of.
I love the
of a little much.
the Starbelly Sneeches, the one that's like an allegory for racism. That's very like, as a child, makes perfect sense to like, why not to be racist? And when you get older, you're like, yeah, that makes very simple, perfect sense. And I just brought that with me in different contexts. Where it's like they discriminate against the ones with
It's
the
almost
stars on
like
their belly.
having
like, no
messages
reason.
inside of your stories is relevant to teaching lessons, and that's the whole reason we made stories, was to teach lessons.
I wonder if children's books are still like as poignant as they used to be.
No,
I wonder if they try to
children's books-
avoid these sort of things now.
Children's books can't be political. Nothing's allowed to be political, or else you're.
I mean, you're
claim
allowed
for
to be.
politicizing.
There's nothing stopping you.
Well, yeah, but people
Like
get
there's
mad when you
the
do
John
it. And then
Oliver Gay Bunny kids book.
what?
The one where they was it?
They wrote
gay
a
bunnies?
book about
Yeah, Mike Pence has a
Mike
bunny,
Pence.
and he made a children's book about his bunny.
and made him gay in the book.
Well, like Mike Pence made one about his bunny, and then John Oliver was like, "Yeah, fuck this guy," because this guy is so homophobic and awful and so on. So he made another book about Mike Pence's bunny, or he's a gay
boyfriend.
bunny and he gets a boyfriend and everything. And
It's
so,
actually
like,
very cute.
It's all really wholesome and cute. Yeah, I bought a copy and sent another copy to Bird.
Mike Pence's bunny gets a gay boyfriend.
Yeah,
It's great.
It's actually it's
love-
really adorable.
I love the idea that like Mike Pence probably doesn't care, but he also isn't happy about it.
He hasn't been
I love
happy in
that.
30 years.
I don't think Mike Pence is allowed to be happy by God's command.
Yeah,
God
no,
has willed him to be a
his entire
stoic.
personality is a physical manifestation of a grimace.
I don't even think he's a grimace. I think he's just a literal sack of blob. And
Yeah.
he's allowed to sometimes walk among people, but usually they keep him in the dark because it's
He's
not a
an
good idea.
incredibly terrible person.
That's the only reason I can imagine he doesn't wear a mask is because he can't get diseases. He's not even a person. Like, he's literally just a blob. So what, like, to him it's foreign. Why am I protecting myself?
He's
I'm
the
not
reason
even
why
alive.
it's like I want Trump gone, but he can't die because then Pence will be president, and he's actually
not true.
worse. Because the vice
I
president
mean, you
becomes
could-
president if the president dies.
Okay, then kill him. The chain. You can keep going. Did you not watch what was that show with Kiefer Sutherland in it?
I don't know.
The one where he became the president because like all the fucking
What?
people in the chain of command died. He was like the secretary of interior, and he suddenly became the president because all the other people died.
So this is something besides 24.
What? Yeah, this is besides 24.
What is Kiefer Sutherland's
He never became president in
career?
24. That would be a terrible idea. Have
Wasn't
you
he the
seen him in
voice of
24?
Snake?
He's literally a terrorist.
No, that
Like,
show
he-
honestly sounds terrible, so I've never watched it.
It's great. There was a time where a guy was going to detonate a nuclear bomb, and so he looked at the guy dead in the eye. Well, actually, it was a Mr. Robot.
I watched a
who was
video
playing
that
the terrorist.
I watched a video that was about like the death toll of 24 and how every single fucking named character in the entire run of the show dies pretty much within
Yeah.
a couple seasons of being introduced. It's just this rotating cycle of suffering surrounding the protagonist because everyone's dying constantly and it's just all nonsense.
Jack Bauer's great.
And like the president dies like twice a season.
Well, to be fair, a lot of them are bad people, so it's okay. Except for Palmer. who was the first black president before Obama was president, and he was the greatest president of all time. And then the fucking worst president after him was what's his face, who's basically a Nixon stand-in, who was just a corrupt, evil fucking piece of shit. And I was glad as fuck that he got impeached as president. It was delightful. Fuck him.
A character in 24 got impeached instead of dying?
Well, there wasn't much choice. Jack was like, I'm either gonna fucking kill you or you leave office. And he's like, well, I'm gonna leave
What is
office.
this show?
That's not what impeached means.
Well, I mean, he
That's
later
not impeaching
became.
at all.
I mean,
I think that's
Jack
stepping
Bauer
down.
impeached him. Basically,
That's not what impeaching
happened.
is.
He impeached him with a shotgun.
You
He gave
can't
him the choice. He said
impeach-
either
you
you
can't
give up
blackmail
presidency or you die. And that's pretty much what impeachment's
impeach
like.
somebody.
I think impeachment means like leaving in like forcibly through disgrace. I don't think it's like
No, impeachment just
that was
means that
basically
they
the
have
thing,
a
is that season of
trial.
24 exposed
Yeah.
that
Trump
he was a
was
corrupt
impeached
president.
already.
He ended up getting
happened.
literally impeached by Congress.
No, I know.
Like, Trump was impeached.
Sorry,
It
no, he
doesn't
did the
mean
Nixon route,
anything.
so he left before he got impeached. But he was technically impeached.
I never watched 24, but this is fascinating.
But my favorite Jack Bauer scene is when Mr. Robot is going to detonate a nuclear device
Rami Malek?
inside of Los Angeles. And so the guy, Mr. Robot, seals himself in a bank vault so that way he can't get caught by the police. And so Jack Bauer goes over a video thing and looks at him and goes, all right, so you can either come out and stop this bomb, or I'm gonna drive to your fucking house. I'm gonna grab your mother. I'm gonna bring her to the blast zone, and I'm gonna throw her in the fucking blast zone and kill her. And he was like, "You're not gonna do that." He's like, "All right." Clapped his hands and he started walking away. And he was getting ready to go. And he's like, "Wait, he's not gonna do that." And everybody else is like, "Well, we're not gonna stop him." And he's like, "What?"
Well, it's technically for the
so-
greater good if it gets him to
Yep.
stop.
And he came out the fucking vault. He's like, "Don't kill my mom." He's like, "Good choice." I was like, damn.
I'm trying to remember what the video was. I saw some video that summarized all the different ways people die in 24. And all the
it's
different
great.
people that die and so on, and the reasons and the context and like all the different categories of people and how none of them are safe. And
No, a lot of them died inside of CQ,
watching the
which is
video,
the actual,
video was just a fever dream.
I think like 2 people died because of poison gas inside of the company building. Shit, so many of them got shot and then came back.
I'll never
and then
find it again.
Got shot again.
My
There's
search
like a
terms are
soap
too
opera. It was
generic to
great.
actually track this down. I'll never find it. Never find it. Never ever.
Set time never. Oh, what happened?
We're in an instance.
Transfer aborted. Instance not found. Okay.
Oh,
Let's teleport to dungeon.
join us,
that
please. But yeah, for my earlier point, here's the top 10 games on all of Twitch. Valorant, not on Steam. League of Legends,
Nope.
not on Steam. Apex Legends, not on Steam. Call of Duty Warzone, not on Steam. Minecraft, not on Steam. Fortnite, not on Steam. Final Fantasy VII Remake, not on Steam. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Steam.
I cannot join.
Grand
So
Theft
it's
Auto
instance not
5,
found again.
technically on Steam, but you don't have to get it on Steam. And then Overwatch, not on Steam. Those are the top 10 games on Twitch. 1.5 of them are on Steam. That's competition.
That's pretty crazy.
What happens when you don't make
And
your own
good.
goddamn games?
Well, I
because
mean-
Steam's like a platform for other games, but if you make your own
because-
games of sufficient popularity, you just make your own platform for them too. This is why it was so stupid. People were mad at Epic because
Epic?
it's like you. Oh, you mean the thing that every other company's also doing that makes popular games?
I know. I think the problem was
Nintendo.
that it literally was just because Borderlands wasn't on Steam. That's it. That's the only reason people
Yeah,
hated
people are
it.
mad about Borderlands and Metro. Like, I have to install a different installer for these popular games, even though I have 6 other installers and I'm cool with those ones.
live with 2 games, $10?
Is it just not letting you in?
to launch you? Yeah, it's not letting me join.
The fuck does that mean?
Please let me join the game. I wanna join it. Please. It's like it keeps telling me it can't find the instance. Are you in it? What the fuck? Instance not found. Okay. Let's see here. Wow. Wow.
This game just forgot
Instance
how to
not
work.
Found bug. All right, how do you fix it?
It's always good when you have to troubleshoot the game while you're playing it. Oopsie, I have my wrong summon out again.
Those are some thick lions right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're the
it's
weird
not
food
open.
dog lion things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. This is the Chinese expansion.
Pandas?
Yeah, the Mists of Pandaria. They made pandas a playable race, and then they had a whole continent that was
Cool.
was all Chinese influences. So that's why this whole room looks like this.
So hold
Like all the
on.
dungeons look like Chinese temples, and there's these like food lion dragon things, or lion dog things. And a lot
Now
of
I'm
variations on
here.
those ideas.
Give me 1 second.
You here?
Yeah.
Or they boot you or something? You
Because
get
the fucking
booted.
game is being a piece of shit. It's
Wait,
like, the way to fix it's to remove your add-ons. I'm like, okay, great. So I had to disable all my
They just
add-ons,
tried to boot
and then
you.
it let
Did
me
they
in the
boot you?
match. So give me 1 second, and I will be there.
Ah,
Did it just kick me? Yep, just got kicked. Damn. Oh well. Cool. Well, I was there. I tried. I'm sorry.
see you later, guys.
I think. Yeah. I was gonna say, I think you're allowed to leave without issue if your party member gets kicked.
Yep. Nope, dungeon deserter. Alright, we don't get to play dungeons now. Man,
What?
people are fucking kick aggressive today.
They don't got
Well,
time for
I
your
wasn't there
nonsense.
for the beginning
Everyone's
of
in
it.
a
That's
hurry.
understandable.
Yeah, but in chat, I said he was getting the instance not found glitch, and I was typing it as you got booted, so then I was like, welp, and then I left the group.
Keith stood up
Sorry.
for you.
Yeah, people are
Apologize.
so
Well, I mean, I left those
aggressive.
other guys hanging. I waited until they started the boss fight, and then I quit. Just so
No,
that they,
they
would
were
be
starting a boss
specifically-
fight then, too.
Give them a
Yes.
semblance of hope.
So they just started a boss fight with 1 DPS. We'll see how that strategy plays out.
That's not great.
But yeah, now I'm a dungeon deserter, so I don't get to play more dungeons for another half an hour.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're on the cusp. Well, no, not we. Shit.
I mean,
Damn it, you're behind.
how am I
I'm
behind?
on the cusp of changing expansions.
I also have Dungeon Deserter. Oh, okay.
Weren't you booted?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not fair.
And now you must suffer the consequences.
I was booted because my game wouldn't load, because the game was having an error
Yeah,
with my
and now you're a
add-ons, and I
deserter.
didn't know that, so I needed to look it up. Solved for the issue, got into the dungeon, and then got booted.
And that's your fault.
Yes, and that's my fault. So I shouldn't be allowed in dungeons for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck me. How dare me?
Yeah, stop that.
I guess we'll just
Right?
have to talk about anime.
Oh no.
Actually, I'm kind of getting over this whole thing because there hasn't been a lot of anime airing because of COVID.
You're also like unusually
But there's like a gigantic backlog
available.
of anime
Just
in the
burn
world.
through it.
Okay,
No,
look,
he already
yes,
watched all that.
But
All of it.
Yeah.
but
you seen
I've
his
been
anime
working
list?
on it.
Andrew's terrifying. He's
Have you
basically
seen my
watched.
anime
He's
list?
basically watched all anime.
No.
I mean, I haven't seen all
His
anime.
greatest friend in the world is anime.
I have dedicated.
He spent more
how
time with
many,
it than any other thing or person.
I would have more
Annie
time
Chart-
for anime if I didn't watch movies all the time.
Yeah.
Annie Chart,
That's
tell
my
me-
thing. Anime movies.
Sorry.
That's where it's at.
You're doing
So let's
movies,
see.
he's doing anime, and I'm playing games.
So I have watched a total of 499 different series.
Wow, you're about the milestone.
Jeez.
I am about to milestone. I'm excited.
What's gonna be your 500th?
Yeah, you gotta make it special, don't you?
Wait, what?
You
The
gotta-
fucking sequel to Inuyasha? God, I'm gonna fucking die.
Wait, what?
I'm so old.
Did you say
Holy shit! How is there a sequel to
There's
Inuyasha?
a sequel? Uh-oh.
The daughters
no.
of Sesshomaru and Inuyasha set on a journey
Oh my
transcending
God.
time.
Oh no.
Fuck, I guess I'll be there. Pack my bags. Like,
Dude,
let's go.
the Shomaru is the best.
Wait, Sesshomaru? Who is Sesh?
He's Inuyasha's brother.
Wait a second. No. Did he
I just remember
fuck
hearing
win?
that. voice acted a lot.
Oh no, don't say that.
Did he fuck a child?
Did he?
I mean, they're not children eventually.
Yeah,
Okay. First of all, Sesshomaru is literally like hundreds of years old. Secondly,
He's hot though.
she was literally 8 years old.
He was like her dad.
That's-
Oh, it's Sesshomaru,
and he
the guy that
adopted
had
her.
like white hair
He
and a circle,
literally
like a
adopted
circlet
her. I
on his
don't like
head.
that
Yeah.
dynamic. Do not do that to me. That is ugly and gross, and I won't accept it.
Andrew, do you know that one series? So there's that one series, and I watched the whole anime, but it turns out in the manga, it's like
Sorry,
way,
Sesshomaru is 900 years old.
yeah, get it right.
Carry on.
Usagi Drop. Do you know Usagi Drop?
Yes, I love Usagi Drop.
Do you know
except
what-
for the fucking ending where it gets real creepy
Yes!
super fast.
I was
Like,
gonna say, I
why?
did because I watched the anime, and the anime ends, but I guess in the manga
Yes.
it like gets
Oh.
really fucking weird.
Oh yeah, the anime does really well. It goes, oh, it was so cute.
This guy-
and he
okay.
raised her and
Keith.
everything's great, and now it's over. And
This
you're like,
guy
oh,
adopts this. He adopts
It's
this girl
my
that he
heart.
thinks is his.
Is this the one with the demon man?
No.
That has like a
No,
skull
this is just a
face?
completely normal.
No, that's a cool
like,
one.
That like weirdly like kidnap, adopts a young girl and wants to marry fuck her.
No.
But
He's
also
talking
maybe
about
eat her.
ancient
That's-
Magus Bride.
You're talking. Oh, so he doesn't want to fuck her. What he wants to do is he wants to figure out what human emotions are, and he
he's like-
thinks
he's
that
a
by
cute
getting
little-
married, he can figure that out because love is a thing that people do.
That one's
So
so,
he
good.
basic- It's
love
really
him.
good. If you
I
read the
ship
manga,
it
it's a lot less
hard.
creepy. It gets a lot. It gets really good. It actually deals with a lot of weird power dynamics in a good way. There is one where it's like, oh, these two. You think that this girl, like, you think the. Have you seen it, Keith?
No.
Oh, okay. There's like a character in there that kind of has a similar dynamic, and you think that the girl likes the guy, but in the manga it clearly explains like, no, she literally thinks that he's her dad. Like, she does not have any romantic feelings. It just comes off that way. But it's just really like he sees her as a daughter, she sees him as a father. There's no
Wait,
romance.
the main
but the
main
anime
two?
doesn't explain that. And I was like, don't leave people hanging. That's
Wait,
a very important distinction.
Are you talking about the main two, like the main characters?
No, not the main characters. The other two, the friend.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. I just want to. I want to
No,
ship
the main
those
characters
two.
are.
So
There's
I
a
want
different
that
dynamic
ability.
there.
He's a cool skull daddy, and he's
Skull Daddy.
He's awesome, and he's like this.
He is really cool looking.
He's actually like
but-
this demon. So when he like is all scary sometimes, and it's awesome. I'm into it. But no, okay. So Usagi Drop is a normal one. It takes place in complete reality.
normal one.
But this guy adopts this girl that he thinks is his grandfather's. Wait, would that be his
I don't believe you.
No,
Gif.
is this his grandfather or his
grandfather?
his father?
Oh, I don't know. It must be his sister or something. It's like his father's.
He thinks it's
daughter.
some blood relative's secret child,
Yeah,
basically.
Okay, I think it's his grandpa. I think it's his grandpa's
What does
secret
that
child.
mean?
Well, because like there's this little girl at his funeral, and she's like he had sex with or it's implied that he like slept with a maid or something, like his caretaker, and she had
Yeah.
his kid, but no one wants to adopt this girl, but now she's an orphan, and so he ends up adopting this girl he thinks is his relative. And it's really cute and charming and adorable. He learns how to be a dad. He's like a single bachelor
Yeah,
guy.
he's a regular bachelor who's like, oh, now I'm a dad, I guess. And so you go through all the throes of like being a dad, and it's great.
And it's very cute.
Oh, I hate this quest. Oh my fucking god, I hate this quest so much.
but then it gets
you have to
bad.
right click on these fucking squirrels as they run around.
Oh, that's
It's
unfortunate.
like impossible.
But the implication is that in the manga she gets older and then he becomes the father to her child,
yeah.
even though he was also her dad.
Well,
through-
father figure,
Father
not her
figure.
actual dad. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's still not okay.
Is it though?
It's not okay. It's definitely not okay. But
It just ruins it. It was cute, but then
it
the
really
true ending
ruins it. I was
it.
so mad. I watched and I was like, this is adorable. Is it maybe another Yatsubato? I love it. Let's read more. And then I got to the end and I was like, I wish I was dead. Why did I do this? This was an awful idea. I've never been so like
I wish I was
hurt
dead.
by a manga like with Whiplash this bad, where I was like, man, I came in so, you know, like so giddy and emotion, like emotions high, and then I left like dead inside. Like, oh, there's no hope.
Well, your emotions are high, but they're in the opposite direction. They're in like the,
Yeah. They're
High
in like high disgust. Like,
Yeah.
how could this happen? This is such a good story, and you fucked it all up. It's like me standing at the Statue of Liberty. It fucked it all up. They blew it all up.
You damn dirty weebs.
I mean, that's basically the story of Evangelion.
yeah.
That's the one
It's just
you always
based-
describe that show as the show made by the guy who hates his audience.
Yep. I mean, yeah, if you watch the final episode, you'll understand. It's literally that scene of him going like, "You damn dirty apes, you blew it all up."
I was explaining to Keith that the first time I watched the ending of the TV run of that show, I was like a small child, right? And I watched it on Adult Swim on its
Yeah.
first airing or whatever. And I remember like I thought that all the choices with them not finishing it were on purpose because I thought it was supposed to be some artistic choice.
Like it's stylized.
And I didn't understand that it was just like because they literally ran out of budget.
Oh. Yeah, there was complications with that show.
Yeah, they like blew through. They went a little ham on some of their budget.
I mean, the angels were really well animated.
I do cite that as like
part of me wants to understand.
My like of Biomech is like that's the only mech show I really like because I like the way that they are fluid like human or like flesh bodies, the way that they move is like my favorite.
Yeah, I never really got into the Gundam scene,
Me
but
neither.
Evangelion was the one time where I was like, man, these were some cool fucking mechs. Like, I really like these.
And the designs are so kick-ass. They made shoes for a while that were like Evangelion style
Oh,
shoes,
yeah.
and I wish I had enough money to buy them.
Part of
There's
me
some
wants to
really
like
cool-
understand it and see it, but it's gotten so complicated that it's almost impossible to even know what to watch. To even know, to be like, I saw Evangelion, because like there's like 3 different versions maybe or more, I can't tell, and everyone argues about which one's the right one, so you can't even get no matter what you watch, you're just gonna get told you watched the wrong one. I'm like, this is exhausting before I even started, so I'm just gonna I'm just gonna not start.
Like, if you can find like a, I don't know, maybe did Funimation dub it? Let's see.
I don't remember who. I don't know who dubbed it. It was on TV.
Where's the
I watched
Twilight
it on TV.
Inferno Lord? Oh,
So-
there it is.
Funimation. Ugh, they did the fucking movies. I don't want the movies.
Was it Funimation?
I thought they owned the license to it, which is why I thought maybe they have the original. So
I think I pirated it last time I watched it. I watched it not legally, I think.
So I've heard that the Netflix version is both better and worse. I'm like, that's not helpful. That's
Yeah.
both answers. Damn it.
God, how do you even find this fucking? Oh, don't. Keep fucking. And of course, because like typical asshole fashion, they were like, let's do it again. Let's remake the same thing with the same name. Fuck y'all. It's like, oh, great. So you try to find it, and you're like, is this the Evangelion Neon Genesis, or is this the other one?
Hello.
That's cool. Well, you can buy it on Amazon for $1,000.
Jeez.
That's
Oh my
too many
gosh.
dollars.
That's too many dollars. You can find a Blu-ray box limited edition for $300, which is still not worth
Also too
paying
many
for.
dollars.
Farewell.
All of
I see the
these are
movies
too
for dirt cheap,
many dollars.
But those are by Funimation.
Oh,
God.
ADV Films, apparently.
ADV Films.
Yeah, so
okay.
a series of licensing snafus, blah, 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 blah. With Gynax and the collapse of ADV Films, the North American distribution company behind the original dub, played a role in Netflix's ultimate decision to scrap the well-known English tracks in favor of cell-phone dialogue audio. Yeah, good luck finding that.
Cell phone audio.
I didn't say cell phone audio.
Is that what you said?
No, I said self-owned dialogue
Oh.
Yeah.
audio.
I thought you were saying that they scrapped it in favor of like dialogue they recorded
cell
on a
phone
cell
recording?
phone.
Oh my goodness.
Like that's the best thing. They literally phoned it in. Like you're about to tell me that's where like the origin of that phrase is. So they phoned
That would
in
be-
Evangelion. Ha.
That'd be hell of impressive.
That makes me
All of
sad. I
Evangelion
don't,
over the phone in the 80s. Congrats, man. How did you
Yeah.
manage?
I don't want to watch it again if it's different, like, voice actors.
You don't want to watch it with different voice actors?
No, I don't know. It just changes it for me now.
What is this? Can you? Oh,
I want Shinji's like whiny little bitchy voice. He's like,
he does have a really whiny.
I don't
bitchy
think I
voice.
can do it. I'm scared. I appreciate that he's honest. I mean, he's probably one of the most real like anime protagonists because his shit's
Why is
crazy.
so much anime obsessed with torturing children?
It's fun, Keith.
Something.
No.
It's fun.
Incorrect,
I would
though.
say ReZero also does a really good job of being brutal as fuck to its
Is that
main
the one
character
with
for seemingly no
the
reason.
guy, the people in suits
Yeah, you gotta kill
that
the people
they
in
shoot
suits.
maybe brain guns? I don't remember.
What?
There was something that had like a cool aesthetic kind of like people in suits that looked like some kind of agents, and I don't remember what it was.
That's vague as fuck.
That's vague as fuck. There's a lot of.
Or you said ReZero, was it Mind Zero? Is that what I'm thinking of?
So ReZero is an isekai, so it's just a kid thrown into a fantasy world type thing.
See, I don't do too many of those.
Right now I'm reading Poon Poon, and then after
I made him read
I'll
Poon
probably
Poon.
read Gantz.
Oh, where are you in Poon Poon?
I've finished the first book.
Ooh, okay. So you've met a handful. You've basically met the family.
Oh yeah.
It's
Literally chapter one ends in like family
I like the
abuse.
uncle.
It's like,
the
all right,
uncle's the coolest
Jesus.
guy ever.
it's funny because
Also, you've met God.
yeah,
Well, yeah, of course I've met
God
God.
is great.
God's in every chapter.
I was so Keith
Well,
was.
I mean, I don't.
God is like
I'm
an
trying to be
unhelp-
careful. I don't want to spoil anything.
God is like an
'cause Poon Poon's not-
unhelpful tech support hotline.
God is
at
fantastic.
most.
I love God.
Keith was looking at the second book and he was like, oh, I can tell there's a big flashback in this one because all the flashbacks are like lined in black, you know? So he's like looking at the
Yeah.
outside of the book and I was like, I think I know which flashback that is. And I open it and I just see like the uncle and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what flashback this is. And I shut it.
Because the second book, the entire middle third of the book is just
I know
black
that
pages.
flashback.
So that means it's
Yeah.
flashbacks based on the first book so far.
It's Poon Poon.
I've read like all, so I love Inyo Asano and I read like some of his other stuff and some of his stuff is he just loves being fucked up. I love him.
Oh, he's yeah.
I read,
have you read his what is it, the
Destruction?
Yeah.
I'm not caught up on it, but I've read like most of it.
I love the brother, the fucking.
I do too, and he's got like the really handsome face, but he's in the middle of
Yes.
like the really overweight guy, but they made his face like really handsome but tiny.
Yeah, they did I love that.
And he's like super romantic, but he's also kind of a creep at the same time.
He's basically an incel, and it's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, they have that incel character, but he has like the most handsome face in the world. That's like the joke.
He's like, yeah, but
There's
he's
so
all
many-
into conspiracy
there's so many
theories and
incels in
like
fiction.
he's anti-government and all this stuff.
Like Snape and
It's-
Dr.
well,
Horrible.
Incels are a part of reality, and thus they will appear in fiction, Keith,
Yep,
because
and
they are
I mean,
a part of our
technically,
world.
And they're
Canada just reported
dangerous.
their first incel terrorism.
What happened?
An incel went into a erotic massage parlor and killed somebody.
That he
And
knew?
so
or-
now they're classifying that as incel terrorism
oh
or
no,
domestic
Lord,
incel
for it.
terrorism, which is like, well, all right, boys, pack your bags. Incels are done unless you want to be a terrorist. Oh,
Or they're
that's-
just gathering ideas.
no. I think all of them do not want to be a part of this.
I know. I'm just
I think
scared of them.
the incels are very cowardly. I don't think they could withstand the idea of being terrorists. I mean, otherwise they might lose their.
I think- I'm afraid of all the ones that go and like kill people. Like all the like that girl at Sears who got shot by that guy because she like wouldn't look at him, and he thought about her all the time.
It's a very confusing mindset that I am fortunate to say I have never experienced. I've never felt owed attention by a woman. I don't know what the fuck that means. If anything, I've always felt like I owe women for the time they gave me, where it's like, I'm sorry, this was a waste of time. Here, you can have your time back. How do I give it back to you? Is it life out of my, it's like years out of my life here. But I've never been like, I don't even know what kind of mentality you have to be in to be like, I'm owed sexual favors from you. I liked you for a year. It's like, what
You
the fuck
smiled
does
at
that
me
mean?
and you said no to a date with me.
These are incompatible ideas.
You tease. You harlot.
Yeah, you big tease. I'm not getting the signals. Like, what? These are such mixed signals. You keep telling me no, but then also not punching me in the face.
Which is the only way I can actually feel the no. I have to feel it up with my face.
It really feels like that based on these accounts.
It's like
if you
Andrew's.
read,
It's like Andrew's story about the trash, about having to take out the trash, where it's like you only take it out if someone yells at you to do it. It's like that, but it's like a league of people that won't leave unless you yell at them no.
huh? Okay,
Like-
I mean, I
like-
kind of
like
understand
your-
that.
like
then.
your
Maybe,
parking
yeah,
lot
maybe you
stalker.
should.
Like my
I
parking
mean, I
lot
don't
stalker.
recommend it, but you should probably just start punching people who do that kind of stuff.
I'm
But
ready.
like with a weapon, not like with your fists, because you don't want to hurt
Weapon
yourself. It's not
punch.
worth it. I mean, you can still punch someone with a sword.
Just clock someone with a Glock.
Yeah, don't stab them. That's killing them. But like,
With
punch
the
them with
other
a
end.
sword.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
They'll learn their
That's
lesson.
just
Have you ever been
confusing.
hit with a
They'd be like,
sword? It hurts.
What's happening?
It's made of
No,
metal.
they'll be too confused to harass you anymore.
Well met.
It's like when it's like the exact emotion expressed by like Superman when he gets shot a lot and all the bullets bounce off, but then they throw the gun at him and he's almost like out of confusion seems to duck under the gun. Like what are you doing? Why?
I do love the idea that he is immune to bullets, but like, oh shit, the guns.
My ultimate
Ah,
weakness, guns. Oh yeah, that's normal to be weak to guns. No, I mean the gun. That's my kryptonite, ironically.
He figured it out. How did he
It's
figure
the
how did he figure it
actual
out? I
gun.
thought I was being so calm about this. Like the whole time they pull a gun, I was like, oh fuck, a gun. And it's not the bullets he's scared of, it's the gun.
Grab a bear cub. What am I doing right now?
So you're saving animals from a burning village or a burning forest. Can you please have some empathy?
I'm supposed to climb to the top of the tree while holding a bear
What
cub.
the way you're holding it is kind of distressing.
It's just running in place on my arm.
Are you doing
This animation makes no sense. Chuck the
I'm not
bear
there yet.
cub.
Chuck it.
What? Wait a second.
Are you okay,
Chuck-
WoW?
Chuck the bear cub. No.
Don't kick the
Is that
baby.
bear down there?
Oh
like,
my god, they killed a deer?
They killed the deer. They killed everything, I think.
What? I was trying to save some injured fawn, but I was too slow to bring them back, and so they died.
Did you chuck him into the fire on accident?
No, I would never do that. How do I escort them home if home is on fire?
Oh no.
So you have to escort. Their home is the Grove of Asania. I was confused by that. You have to go to like where our flight path is, basically. Where am I trying to chuck this?
Throw him on the trampoline.
Wait,
Is
where
that
am I-
trampoline?
Wait, is there a spot I'm supposed to? Oh, I'm supposed to throw them on the trampoline instead of just a place. I just threw them.
Oh my god, Keith.
You were supposed
Are
to
you
throw them to
fucking
save you.
hawking bears off of cliffs? What the
I
fuck?
just threw a bear
Into
to
another
not safety
tree.
last. Yeah, in my
God.
defense. In my
There's
defense,
some guy at
when
the
I-
bottom of the cliff, like a bear falls down. What the fuck?
In my defense, I climbed up a tree and the arrow was pointing at another tree when it said throw the bear.
Well, you're supposed to
And
aim the arrow.
So I
Keith.
was like, oh, I guess that tree must be safer or something.
The arrow is your
YOLO.
trajectory.
It's confusing. All these bears apparently went up in this trees like cats, and they're stuck now. Like they don't know what to do.
Pretty smart fucking bears.
I always wonder
They're
that
not.
whole like,
They're not smart. They're all stuck in trees.
how do cats climb trees and then not figure out how to get down?
They're
I don't-
stupid.
I think
don't-
it's that cats aren't aware that they are immune to fall damage.
They just don't think ahead.
It's kind of like when you play a video game for the
They-
first time.
they
You're
climb
like,
to a
can
top
I
of a
jump off this
tree.
cliff or will I die?
They climb up to
But
the top.
cats don't know that
They've
yet.
never tried it
They
yet.
climb
so
to the
they
top
don't
of the
know.
tree, and then they're like, "Wait, I'm afraid of heights."
Yeah.
Why
So
didn't
see,
anyone
like if
warn
you,
me?
the best way
But
to
it was
save a
high up
cat
here.
in a tree is you grab them from the tree and then you drop them from the tree. So long as it's not a like a deadly height. If it's like a normal tree height, you drop them from the tree and then they will learn that they will survive a tree drop and thus they will not need your help again.
Oh, interesting.
But don't
chuck 'em?
obviously throw them off a building because they can die.
Yeah, Keith, don't throw the cats, okay?
Damn
don't throw
it.
them into another tree, okay?
Like cats can sustain fall damage. It's
exposed
just
my
a really
strategy.
they have a really good threshold for it. But don't like test that.
You don't.
People have already tested it for you, and they're heartless monsters. Don't become a heartless monster.
You throw the bear cup so violently.
Like a
I mean,
baseball.
yeah, it's just they have one throwing animation, and that's the one they
You
used.
just chuck it and it rockets through the air so dangerously.
But it saved Keith.
It's like if someone chucked a Beanie Baby at full force.
Wait a minute, is that trampoline made of bear?
What? Wait a second.
I think we're throwing these bears at a bearskin trampoline.
That's a little fucky.
No, it looks like
That
it might be a
seems-
moose.
It's still.
Whoa, it's bouncy.
Yeah, wait. This world doesn't have plastic. How the hell do they get a trampoline?
No, it's definitely a skin, but I think looking at it, it looks kind of like it might be a deer.
Maybe that's
or
where
something.
the mother bear went. She
Oh,
became
dear.
a trampoline for her babies.
Well, I'm
She's there
level
to catch
90. You
them.
better step the fuck up. I need to use the restroom like that.
Man, can you believe in
Aw.
1992 you could have bought a
talking about
DVD
anime.
copy of Evangelion for $30?
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. You know, 1992.
Did you ever watch the what was it, like the kids WB? Like someone did a parody of the Evangelion opening, but they did it like the kids WB openings.
No. What?
Yeah, because you know how like
Kids
it's
WB.
is it kids WB that makes all the dumb like
Yeah.
like One Piece and stuff? They had one. It's like,
Look.
shut up, Shinji, get in the robot. Your dad loves you. Get in the robot.
What?
It's like a rap. It's like a rap. You know,
Okay, I'm just gonna type in "shut up, Shinji."
get in the robot.
Let's see.
It might
Get
be
in the
like
robot.
a million years old, but it made me laugh.
Okay, so what is this? Is this actually? Okay, I don't want to know the joke. I just want to see the video. Is there a video for this?
Yeah, it was a whole music video. Let me see if I can find it. Watch me just like tell you this joke
That's
you'll
not
never
it.
be able to find and just curse you forever with the knowledge that it
Here it
exists.
is. Okay.
It's
Oh, it's
something,
a whole meme.
yeah, something about like his dad makes him a robot for his birthday, and it's like a rap about how, but like they make everything lighthearted about it, which is hilarious.
God, this
It's okay, Andrew. I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
this is deep. I didn't realize there was so much. Oh, is this it? Wait. Nope, this isn't it.
What else? Okay, Gynax made. What else did they make? Though I think they're one of my favorites, but I always forget what their backlog is.
I feel like this is. Can someone just give me the link to this video? I don't want a T-shirt that says it.
Oh no!
Maybe this is it. Please be it. Nope, this isn't it either. Dang,
Dude,
there was. People just took
Andrew,
this
I
meme and
cursed
ran with
you.
it.
I cursed you. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's the Lost for Kids opening. I think I might have just found it. I broke Andrew. I cursed him.
Is it? Oh, is this it? I looked up that video.
Yeah, I found it. I found it. Yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion, the Lost 4Kids opening. It's 4Kids. Yeah.
What does that mean? How did you break Andrew?
I told him about a joke you couldn't find.
What does that mean? I'll never understand.
Andrew, did you find it? I think he found it.
What does it mean?
I
Did he just punch stuff because he's laughing so hard? What the fuck? What is happening?
I told
Holy shit.
him about the "Shut Up, Shinji, Get in the Robot" opening.
Oh.
Evangelion that I like so much.
Oh.
Dad loves you.
Oh, you've mentioned this before. Shut up, Shinji, get in the robot.
Your dad loves you.
Your dad
Get in the
loves you.
robot.
Get in the robot. I don't understand it that much.
The joke is that his dad doesn't love him.
Yeah, because you were explaining this to me, and then I showed you Saturday Morning Watchmen by Harry Partridge, which has a similar tone of like like being this cheerful song that misinterprets the original media that it's doing.
That Asuka line, it was very close to it was very close to a big yikes.
Yeah.
Drawn together forever. They're the best of friends.
Her country is responsible for the whole low graphic map. I was like, wow. Good recovery, guys. Good recovery. I like the part about living in flooded New Orleans. Very accurate. Probably exactly where that show takes place at. I love it, man. That the breakdown is so good.
See, I just like that it's they changed the whole context of everything. His dad made him a robot for his birthday.
I do love the like get in the robot. It's not Eva. Get in the robot. There's a. Your dad loves you. Get in the robot. What the fuck? Why would you say such a thing? That's clearly a lie, sir. How could you?
Don't you know deep down underneath that cold hard exterior beats the heart of a man who loves his son?
No.
You know, I would believe that, except I don't think I've seen that man once smile at his son.
No.
Man,
In fact, I think he frowned more when Shinji was around than when he was around nobody.
Well, would you smile if Shinji was your son?
His default facial expression was more positive than when Shinji's on screen.
I mean, he is Shinji. I'd be kind of sad if I got Shinji as a kid.
That's fair. The kid.
Just thinking about like all the anime I've seen where there's like a bad relationship with the father.
Well, it's either that or your mom's dead.
Yeah, Disney.
It's like the most wholesome father relationship that comes to mind might be the one from Dr. Stone.
What?
Space Bros is really good.
Because I'm like, Dragon Ball Z, no. Full Metal Alchemist, no. Fucking Attack on Titan, big no.
Well,
biggest no of all.
It's questionable with Attack on Titan. I think his dad saved him.
In Fooly Cooly, the main character's dad wants to fuck his love interest, and so that's
well.
fun
To be fair,
dynamic.
his love interest is also like way out of his age range.
If you're a wholesome dad, you die. Like in Full Metal
Also,
Alchemist.
his dad got turned into a mummy and then presumably like massaged back to life.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could interpret that whole show like a million different ways.
And like in
well, there's one way to interpret it. It's
in Beastars you have Lewis's dad, which is no.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Whose?
Lewis
From what?
from Beastars.
Oh,
yeah.
Just like all these father relationships are always really bad.
Well, that's not his real dad.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
but
Fathers have a lot of
that's what there
expectations,
is.
and mothers
And
tend
based on
to
the first
die.
Poon Poon book I've read, not a great dad there either.
Okay, well, Poon Poon's not a. I would never use Poon Poon as an example
Don't-
for anything
don't-
positive family related.
Yes.
That's just not
Or anything
a good
positive at all.
barometer.
I'm just trying to think of any good dads in all of anime.
Yeah, I mean, like I
could've
said,
said-
Space Bros has a good dad.
I could have said Usagi Drop, but now I can't.
Is there
So.
a single
Tenchi
good dad
Muyo
that
has a good dad,
survives?
surprisingly.
Because the one good dad in Full Metal Alchemist does not survive.
Well, no, but he wasn't a bad dad. He didn't hate his children. He just literally didn't.
No, I said
Oh.
the good dad in Full Metal Alchemist doesn't survive.
Oh yeah.
Because
I was gonna say, he's not
the
like
most likable
Shinji's dad
character in the
level.
entire show until he's
Oh,
not
he is a
alive
good
anymore.
dad. Why'd you have to remind me that he does?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Well.
the really good dad dies. The really bad dad kills his daughter.
Wait,
that-
what? What are you talking about?
The most famous scene of all of Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh, that is a really bad dad.
That's a bad dad.
Yeah, bad dad.
It's a lot of bad dads.
Where's Nina and Alexander
yeah.
right now? I love that line so much. He's like, but I want to ask you, where's Nina and Alexander right now?
How do you throw
And
these bears
blood.
onto the trampoline?
You have to go to the top of the entire tree and then throw you right click to change your camera
Gotcha.
till it's on the trampoline, then press the throw bear button.
Chuck a bear.
And
Great.
chuck a bear, and it's a violent chuck.
Oh, it's a very violent chuck.
You're like,
that bear,
oh, this poor
that bear's
bear.
gone.
Yeah.
I can barely
Jumbo.
bear it. Oh, we can do groups.
Hold on, I'm chucking bears off a tree.
We can do dungeons and raids.
What are some other good dads? What
I'm
are
trying
some
so hard to think right now, and I'm drawing a huge blank, to be honest.
Of good
Usagi
dads
drop
in
until the
anime.
end?
That's what
He's a
I
pretty
just,
good
that's what I
dad.
said. I was like, I could have said Usagi drop, but I can't.
Let's see. Yotsubato has a really good dad. Fantastic fucking dad.
See, I think a lot of these reasons for these parents not being around is like they could solve a lot of the problems for the protagonist by being like a supportive rock, but so them not
And not
being
being
there.
Garbo.
Yeah, so it's like
Well,
so
I
they
think
gotta,
it's
they gotta
more
take
about
that out.
like the characters don't have motivation if they had functional family
Yeah.
like homes.
because they would be loved and be well adjusted and
Yeah,
wouldn't.
could you imagine Full Metal Alchemist if like the dad was still there and the mom died and he's like, well, I guess I'm a single dad now and I'm immortal, so this will be fun.
You guys did a
The
bad
end.
job with your mom, but shame on you. Tisk tisk. Like,
Yeah.
that was not good.
Instead, we got crazy shit kids like losing limbs and bodies and fucking being drafted to the military at young ages, forced to make life or
It's
death
too far
decisions.
away.
It's so
I
much
need to
better.
get closer.
Clearly better off without his family.
It's like mixed because you can be a good dad but a flawed person.
Well, I think a good dad should.
Which
like,
is that's I think what
still
Evangelion was going
make
for.
a story
but they
interesting.
Kind of missed that.
He didn't show
a
any
lot.
love. Like,
I just think about like how in the book The Hate You Give, the dad has like 500 flaws, but he's kind of a great dad.
well, I think, well, but that's the whole point is that parents are people, and so they inherently should have flaws because that just makes them people. Like,
Yeah.
the whole point is that you learn from your flaws, and you don't want your kids to have. You teach them to avoid the problems that you face, and that's the whole point. That's what you
Yeah.
should do.
were you gonna
Kaiji's
say?
dad definitely fucked up, whoever the fuck he is. do
Who?
you ever meet his dad?
Kaiji. No, you don't meet Kaiji's
I
dad.
just know he fucked
Kaiji,
up.
you
'cause I saw
actually we just recently met Kaiji's mom.
Oh, in the manga?
Yeah, in the manga they just introduced her, and the reason that Kaiji never talked about her is because he hates her because she's overbearing.
Are they still making it? The
Yeah,
manga?
Kaiji's still ongoing.
Ah.
How long is it right now?
Oh no,
It's
Berserk has a
long.
really bad dad. Oh no!
What?
I just remember. I'm trying to go through the list of dads.
Berserk.
I'm trying to go through every manga and anime I've read and think of who the dads are. And Berserk's
how long
dad
is
is
Kaiji
real
so
bad.
far? So
Berserk might have the worst dad.
72 volumes currently. So not like it's still less than One Piece, but it's still pretty
Well,
big.
everything's less than One Piece.
Like there's a lot of like
okay.
there's a lot of like edgy grim.
That's a high
shit.
bar. One Piece is like what? What's One Piece at, Andrew?
One Piece, I believe, is over 100.
Jeez Louise, that's
Yep.
no, not doing. I can't.
Anime and manga has a lot of like edgy
oh no,
grim
One Piece is
dark
at
shit.
96.
But like the stuff that the bad dad does in Berserk is like stuff that I like can't say on stream, kind of. It's
Which
like that.
wait,
it's
which
that
bad
extreme.
dad?
The person who raises the protagonist
Oh, I mean Guts
is the baddest dad.
oh, okay.
He gets the baddest dad award. It's really bad.
Okay, well, I was gonna say there's a lot of bad dads in Berserk.
Yeah, but Guts that's really specifically horrible in ways that are like trump
That's
what
not his
normally
real
happens.
dad.
No.
It's not his real dad. Well, the
No.
poor boy was found hanging from
Yeah, he
Or underneath a tree
he
of
birthed
hung
out of a
people.
corpse.
Yeah.
So he's pretty abandoned.
So,
Because Berserk be like that.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
dark.
Berserk doesn't want to make you think anything else.
Yeah,
it wants you to know
protagonist
right out the gate.
Berserk is found on the floor as a newborn baby under the corpse of his mother, who was hung from a tree, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
along with other people.
A hanging tree, like in Pillars
It
of
was a
Eternity.
hanging tree. But yeah, Berserk doesn't really pull punches,
Yeah.
except when it comes to Guts admitting how much he loves Casca. Then it holds back a lot.
It holds back so many punches.
I don't know. There's a. I will say actually, Berserk is kind of weirdly, like it doesn't really make Guts look weak for loving Casca, which is an interesting dynamic that I thought it would have gone in given the rest of the story. I thought they would have been like, see, Guts, your love for Casca's made you weak, and he's like, what? No, what? That's not how fucking anything works. I'm still stronger than anybody. Fuck you.
Yeah, they don't make those kinds of mistakes.
Yeah, there's no like, I don't know. I guess because it's a false, it's like a false character to be like, oh, empathy is a weakness. It's like, no, empathy is just part of being a human.
Guts has a lot. Like Berserk has a lot of ballsy moves because they also have. They're essentially trying to make one of the most badass, like iconic anime heroes ever.
Yeah.
And he's a sexual assault survivor.
Yeah, I thought that was
already is.
amazing. Yeah. I remember, so back in the day, I don't remember. It was in a one of those geek boxes or whatever. Those like loot crates for geek stuff. But
the loot boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother got it was like a deck of cards, and it was one of those card games that you play, and the whole point is that you pick a person, and then you pick a situation, and then you pick a weapon. But it was the anime version of that. So
okay.
you have to try to argue the case. And I remember I got Guts, and I ended up winning the whole game because I kept pulling out Guts, and I was like, yeah, but it's Guts though. And so I ended up winning like
Guts.
the whole game because there's like no. It's like, well, like underwater with a bazooka, and I'm like, yeah,
Guts.
but it's Guts though. Like,
Yeah,
But it's Guts,
Guts
though.
would survive. He'd find a way. I mean, the Berserk armor technically allows him to breathe underwater, and it nullifies pain, so he could withstand a bazooka blast. So yeah, he's good.
that was actually a really fun like card game to sit there and like argue
Berserk has
about.
one of the weirdest narrative structures ever for a manga. Like the
do you mean?
timelines, the way it handles its timeline is bizarre.
Oh yeah, it does have a weird. It like starts.
I think it started post Eclipse when he has like one eye
yeah.
and stuff like that, and like a character is introduced as the villain. Then they cut back to him being the protagonist being the child, and they go
Correct.
through his entire backstory from scratch. And they spend like, it's not just like, oh, we'll spend a chapter filling in the backstory of this character now that you've met him already. It's like, no, we're gonna spend like, there's essentially like several chapters that function as like the cold open for Full Metal Alchemist, where it's just like we're going after this one cult. Like it's just like
Yeah.
there's just a cold open of several chapters where it's long enough. It just feels like, oh, this is just the real story. This isn't like an opening or anything. And then it's like, psych, it was an opening because now we're gonna go back to his past and tell it from the
Yeah.
very beginning over the course of
'Cause-
like 20 volumes.
Because the beginning is him killing the snake,
long.
right? He kills like the snake guy and then gets the behemoth and then goes to.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff going on where it's like they immediately introduce that they introduce Guts when he has one eye and his giant sword, and
Yeah.
Griffith is as an enemy, and so on.
fucking. I
And
love
then
the
they
line.
and then they
It's too
spend
big
like
to be a
20 or
sword.
they go back and spend like 20 volumes going back and explaining how he got there and why Griffith is his enemy. So the entire time Griffith, he's going to that's going to end badly. It's like a really specific, weird way to organize your story.
I think unfortunately, I think that's the way you had to pitch. Like you had to pitch a manga. You have to reel people in. And the moment that it was like, oh, this is good. And he's like, okay, cool. Now that I have your attention,
Yeah.
we're going to get into some story.
It makes Griffith eerie as fuck the entire time because never
Griffith
for a
is
moment do you
really
expect him
tough,
to be on the right side.
to trust as a character. everything about how he looks, the way he acts, his insistency on Guts being a part of his team, everything about him is just, yeah, is unsettling.
Kiki's dreaming.
There's this tattoo artist.
She was like squeal snorting.
She like I can't tell if she's having good dreams or bad dreams, but she like makes little whimper noises.
They were like whimper hiccups.
Yeah. But there's an artist that I follow on Instagram who's a tattoo artist who does anime tattoos specifically, and she always releases like flash sheets of she'll draw like her own original art of like different anime characters, and they're really done in like the original style and beautiful, and you get to pick, you know, if you win like the contest you get to pick one, and then she tries to make them to where like you can't get the same one as somebody else. But she made one and Griffith was on there as like an option and nobody wanted that one. Everyone's like, I can't imagine having that character on me forever. It was like all the comments underneath the flash sheet.
That's a distressing character.
That is, I mean, that is fair though. I would also not want Griffith on me at all.
How do you guys think Berserk will end? I am not ready for that at all. I've only just reached the eclipse, so no spoilers.
Yeah, that's a tough question. Berserk will end the way it is deemed to be best.
I technically haven't reached the opener. I technically haven't caught up with the opening yet. I haven't closed the loop.
Yeah, you have not gotten to the opening.
Yeah. I have no idea how long it'll be.
That does not happen. You're still a while off before
the opening is worrying because it features none of the characters I'm attached to.
That's not necessarily true. I mean, because the beginning story that you saw doesn't really. I'm
just saying none of them are in the opening.
Oh,
and so that's worrying. You're like, oh Guts. No, I have no idea who lives. It's just
a really weird
this
opening too because
fairy.
It's not even. I don't know. It's tough to say without, I guess, being that is technically spoilers. It's a weird side story that I feel like only existed because it needed to be for the pitch, but when you read the rest of the story, you can tell that it's like non-important. It's just it's like, oh, okay, sure.
I guess that happened.
It's like a monster of the week type thing, and you're like, I guess we went here for some reason. All right. But yeah, you still are though a healthy way off before you get to before you catch up to the opening.
Yeah. Just waiting for my deluxe editions to get published.
Yeah, they're a little slow.
They're beautiful.
It felt so short, man. You weren't there for the fucking 3-year-long wait till they get off the fucking boat.
These massive volumes, they're great to read.
God.
The deluxe editions pages are so big compared to normal manga. It's like, this is worth it. Because the art's also great.
Oh, the art's fantastic.
So it's like Berserk deserves to have American-sized pages. It's true. There's a standard comic size for America and then a standard comic size for Japan, and one of them is significantly smaller.
Well, you have to remember that comic sizes in Japan are based around two things. One, not everyone wants to have 17 bookshelves, and two, people usually carry it on them, like while they're traveling.
Yeah.
So having it compact and portable is the best way to like produce manga. I mean, Shonen Jump's a different beast. Shonen Jump is the way it is because of a lot of weird things, but actual manga volumes are like super tiny because it's portable. It's easy to put in your pocket. That's why they have the whole light novel genre rather than just having one Harry Potter novel. They're like, that's stupid. Why don't you just break it up into small novels? And you can carry them around.
Is that what a light novel is? They take normal sized books and split them into small books.
Yes. Well, or they write them with that intention.
Just normal novels that are long.
Which changes the way that it kind of changes the way you structure things too.
Yeah.
Which is like it changes the whole dynamic.
I've been reading the ReZero light novels, and it's a lot better to read it in a light novel format. I hate long form American books that are like 600 pages. It's daunting. It's like I feel like it's a chore to read this rather than a light novel where it's like, oh, I read this over like 3 lunch breaks. Cool.
Well, as I say, you get like spoiled with that kind of like easy, accessible reading.
Yeah.
which is why like Keith and I have the same method where it's like we have to read a real book and then we can read a graphic novel and then we read a real book and then a graphic novel, because it's just so stuck on reading graphic novels, like because they're so easy to
I get so easily burned to them. They have to have like a cycle. So I'm gonna read all of Poon Poon and then I'm gonna read another novel. It's not exactly balanced, but it's just some sort of rule set, so I don't just.
Poon Poon's way longer.
It's long, but I'm gonna burn through it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Poon Poon's not a long one comparatively.
I can start
like
borrowing
Berserk.
it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
I've had Poon Poon and Black Hole on my shelf for like a year, I think.
Yeah, I gave you those like a long ass time ago.
I still need to buy
from the time I gave you Berserk.
Keep meaning to.
Yeah.
I actually need to buy One Piece one day, but
Oh god, now?
Wait till I have like $1 billion.
it's not even that. It's just I'm kind of waiting until they finally give up and just make them long, you know, like Berserk size novels.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna sit here and buy like 1,500 fucking volumes. I'm
surprised I haven't done that yet.
That's what's great about Walking Dead.
Hey, did we already go here?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I
think
forgot
we've
to
already
remove
been
it.
Here.
Well, guess we're fucked.
BRB.
That's fine.
Wah, wah. But the Walking Dead ran for like 20 years almost, I think, and you can just buy it as 4 books.
Which is that's so nice.
They sell them as
I like that.
compendiums, and each compendium is 52 chapters.
Yeah, and I mean I love One Piece, but fuck man, that's a lot of books.
Yep. So I just have all of Walking Dead as 4 books, and you can get each one for like $40. So it's not even that much to buy a 20-year-long series. They even made a point to make sure the franchise ended on the compendium split, so that you didn't have to buy a weird, shitty like 75th volume that was like a different format or whatever. They timed it, which I think did make the ending feel a little like it was paced too quickly. But hey,
I don't know why they just didn't add extra pages. It's kind of weird.
they chose to get out, I guess. Well, it's because they had to wrap up the ending and then do the epilogue they wanted to do. Because they wanted to do a whole chapter that's like a like normal, because a normal issue of a Western comic by those kinds of companies is like 22 pages, and they did like a 50 or 70 page epilogue. So that meant the final issue of the entire comic, I think, was 100 pages long, and that was a normal issue. It wasn't like a volume or something, because it was the final chapter, which was supposed to be a surprise. Like the surprise, oh my god, suddenly Walking Dead's over, it's ending right now. So they wrapped up so like very abruptly it was like, yeah, surprise, this is the final chapter of all of Walking Dead, followed by this like 70-page like epilogue to the story. Because they wanted it to be a surprise, like the author wrote that he wanted to be just as much of a surprise, the death of the series, as it was when like a character would die. So just completely out of nowhere, no one knew it was happening. They made up future issues that were fake.
Wow, that's a...
Because normally you already know the covers and names of like the next like 5 issues. They're all like pre-announced with the release dates and everything, and you can see their cover art. And they made up fake ones.
That's a long con that paid off, I guess.
Yeah, it's a pretty great idea. But yeah, just that came out of nowhere and just ended one day, and they killed some major people that you didn't think they could kill, and it was just like, oh shit, and things resolved.
Good. They finally killed off that child character.
The comic and the books all got really ship of Theseus-y, which I always talk about. How like you loop around until there's like none of the original cast.
You're like, wait,
which
who are
the
all you
show
guys?
did
It's
way
like,
faster actually. The show did it weirdly fast. Both versions of the show, which was even weirder.
Both versions. What is the other version?
Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead are 2 different shows.
Oh, I forgot about Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead's like 5 seasons. It had 3 seasons that each got progressively better, and then they fucked the whole show. Because Fear the Walking Dead is the one where they weren't happy with the ratings entirely, so they decided they wanted to make it a crossover. And so they brought the characters over from They brought a character over from Walking Dead and made him the main character of the entire show. So he just stole the show from the real cast. And so they time skipped years into the future to make it match up with the timeline of Walking Dead, so that character could go from one show to the other, which completely broke the narrative because they were kind of in the middle of something when the last season ended, and they just don't resolve that. And then they just kill several characters of the main characters so that they can all get out of the way for the new main character that's from a different show entirely, which is like top 10 anime betrayals. Like, this is like not how you this is not how you run a show. Like, it's really, it's a huge betrayal.
Who, like, the actors on this show, like, that's shitty.
No, I actually liked Fear the Walking Dead more than Walking Dead, and then someone just fucking snapped it on their knee. Like, they just broke it. They broke the show.
That's Hollywood. Hollywood's all about breaking knees.
That's one of the worst things I've ever seen in the history of running shows on television. That was just straight up like, you're not allowed to do that, but then they did it.
What?
You know what cracks me up? When I hear AMC, it always confuses me that AMC made shows, because I only think of AMC as the fucking movie channel, the one that had all the old 50s movies.
AMC was one of the most successful like show creating channels for like the last like the 2010s.
But growing up, I don't think I watched a single fucking show that they made.
That's Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, and Mad Men, I think. And those were all like blockbusters of TV.
Those are all like recent, aren't they?
Yeah, across the 2010s. That was when they started doing all those shows.
I meant like growing up as a kid. They were just like a channel for old movies that were in black and white, and I was like, fuck these.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember AMC having all the old movies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, AMC's the place to watch stuff. And I was like, it like what? Spaghetti westerns? What the fuck has AMC got? He's like, no, it's got like Breaking Bad. And I'm like, oh, okay. Is that like a movie I didn't watch?
Is AMC the same? Oh, this one again. Fuck, yeah, we've definitely been here before.
I've had
I'm supposed to go inside of this part.
You gotta be in the center and then move out when she pulls them in.
Is AMC the same company that makes that runs the theaters, or is that just another company that's also called AMC?
That's a different company with the same
That's
name.
what I thought. Somebody was saying the other day they're the same company, but I didn't know but I wasn't sure enough to correct them. And I was like, I don't think that the TV channel and the theater chain is the same thing, even though that is fucking confusing.
That is fucking confusing.
There's like
many confusing.
I think it's because their AMC stands for something different than the other AMC.
They both stand for American Classic.
American Movie Company.
No, so
AMC.
AMC is American Cinema something. Whereas the other AMC is like American Classic Movies.
American Movie Classic, American Movie Cinema.
Yeah.
Why not? American Movie Cinema.
That's redundant.
As opposed to the Russian movie cinema we have here.
I guess a cinema is a place. I don't know.
Let's make that so well.
Dumb.
Berserk is not 71 volumes. I mean, it could be.
And then I'm getting confused with Turner Classic Movies.
I love Turner Classic Movies, which is not the same as American Classic Movies.
And
let's see.
Turner
what is
Classic Movies
AMC
is the one that
movie?
bought. They're the ones that founded Cartoon Network, I think, because Ted Turner.
Time Warner, yeah.
Time Warner.
Time Warner is the one who founded Cartoon Network.
Is that also the cable company? That's also the people
Time
that run
Warner
internet
and
ruin.
Time Warner Cable are the same company.
Yeah, they're one of the cable and internet companies that has like one of the local monopolies in a different region that people complain about.
Yeah.
It's how you know that cable companies and internet companies have like these monopolies, is that
because they're around forever.
Well, it's just knowing the fact that like when you listen to people complain about things, they always complain about the same companies, but then you listen to a podcast that's made in a different region of the United States and they complain about completely different companies and only those companies. And it's because they just carved up the country to not interact with each other.
Yep.
It's like we all have the same suffering experience,
sort of.
But it's all different companies.
Like MSNBC is Comcast, or was Comcast. And obviously, so it went from a network television show to an to a cable provider to then or went from a cable provider / channel, and then became a internet provider, because all internet was done over cable, and so cable already had the rights to cable lines.
Is
So why not just
MSNBC a cable
become internet
provider?
What?
Like the news corporation?
Yeah,
They're
MSNBC
a cable company?
The MSNBC was, or yeah. God, I hate history on American freaking monopolies.
I hate American history.
So,
MSNBC.
I do hate American. So
MSNBC.
yeah, so Comcast bought MSNBC. That's what it was. When Comcast was just a cable provider.
Are you
I
saying
forgot
that?
that Comcast tried to buy Disney.
Are you
Forgot
saying
about
that at
that.
some point MSNBC was a cable provider?
No. Sorry, I meant Comcast was a cable provider that became an internet provider. So Comcast provided cable, then they became an internet provider. But in that time they bought MSNBC. But so you wouldn't know.
So MSNBC was always
like,
just a news channel.
Yeah, because
Okay, you said
NBC
the
was
most
a news channel, and then when they bought it, it became MSNBC.
You said it the most confusing way possible. So
Sorry,
it sounded like you're implying that MSNBC was a cable company or internet provider or something. I'm like,
No.
What fucking universe did that happen in?
No, Comcast
I
was it.
missed
Then they
something.
bought MSNBC, which then became part of their cable
Tank
company,
dying bad.
more or less.
Oh no. Must cast
What?
don't die button on Tank. Oh, he died already. Well, I'm bringing him back. So I was already casting the res on them as they died, so...
That's a beautiful dragon.
Please come back, Tank. Tank? Tank, I cast the you don't die fucking fucker. This
Did he
asshole.
res?
Wait, did I soulstone myself?
Oh man, I can't believe we failed there.
That's confusing. I thought I clicked on the tank when I cast that. But I don't think it went on them. Maybe they died midway through the cast, so then the soulstone went on me? I don't know. If only I
Wait,
was
who
like
made-
recording this video so I could... That's always the thing whenever I have a weird confusion about like what happened. I'd be like, I could check this later. But then I have
made
to remember to
Ballard?
check it later and then find the moment. Which, good luck. Take Vortex. What is he talking about, Andrew? Help.
What?
He says take the Vortex.
There's a.
Is it
on
ahead
the-
of us or
you'll see,
behind
on the bridge
us?
path
or-
that we walk through, there's a vortex that you can grab, and it will. I thought that's only the. I thought the. Oh yeah. He means a slipstream over here. So to the left, there's going to be a slipstream that'll take us over to the.
Is that not the one we did in the first place? Last time?
Yeah, I think he was assuming that
Is it-
there's a slipstream by the spawn.
I'm
Which
like, is he talking about the
not.
vortex we
That only appears
always
after you've won.
use? Yeah.
Oh, I guess not. I guess there is a slipstream by the spawn. What? I thought that
Oh.
only is there at the end.
Well, weird.
Yeah, whatever.
Where is Mint?
What?
Where is
I
Mint?
think Mint's the white one, and I think he.
No, the white one's Foxy Mish.
Oh,
don't-
Mint's already there. He's already at the.
He's not on my
place.
map, so it's confusing. Oh, he just materialized just now. That was weird. Yeah, I didn't know it was there.
This map seems like
you
it
can-
would be frustrating.
It's a bit. That little tornado thing I just jumped in. Last time we played this map, I tried jumping into it, like by jumping, so it just fell into
Yeah.
the abyss. And then it respawned me back at the beginning of the instance, and I had to run all the way here again.
So it's not just jumping. You have to do some.
You have to right click on it. You have to use it.
Oh my goodness.
And so since I didn't use it, I tried jumping into it because everyone looked like they were jumping into it. I just fell. I'm like, God damn it.
Well, I would definitely think that jumping into it was what you would do.
Yeah, that's everyone's default reaction is to jump into it first,
shit.
and then they die from it, and then they learn that lesson, and then forget that lesson when they come back to WoW later, and then
I
they
think-
jump into it again.
Yeah, old platforming has taught me that when you see like tornado gusts of wind, they usually like propel you someplace.
Yeah. It's very good common wisdom to have.
Not in real life,
Until it
though.
doesn't work.
Yeah, don't jump in tornadoes in real life.
Not in real life.
Don't go jumping in
Oh,
tornadoes.
Big O.
Oh,
I remember
gosh.
Big O. Big O is Big O had the same problem that Cowboy Bebop had, which is it was
Nothing?
syndicated
No
on American
problems?
television, but not in order because they
Oh.
thought they could get away with that, and thus
Why would they
ruined
do
the
that?
entire plot.
Big O. I thought Big O was boring.
Why would they not show it in order?
Because it felt it felt episodic because there were some episodes that were just like today's bad guy of the week.
Yeah, but it has a flow to it.
What was that?
But like they can do that, but they're fucking up the flow when they decide
Yeah.
to air it out of order. Because there's like a certain
Yeah, when you
like I don't know.
It's like Firefly. You can't like they're technically standalone episodes, kind of, but like there's character arcs
Yeah,
happening.
there's like background
Yeah.
development of characters in the show that you feel over time. So when you watch it out of order, it throws off like the flow. And even if it might not be like apparent that it's happening, because you might not notice you're watching it out of order, it like when you watch it in order, you
Yeah.
feel it.
Same thing with like Doctor
Yeah.
Who and a bunch of other shows. It's like they're episodic by structure, but they're still about characters that react to the things that are happening to them.
And they bond
Exactly.
and all
So
that.
there
Yeah.
is that. So that's the thing. Like Big O, I feel like Big O had that problem where it was broadcasted on like Toonami, but it was broadcasted in this like episodic format. So not a lot of people knew that there was an actual overarching plot to it, or most people don't even remember what the fucking plot was. And the plot was pretty cool. It was like everyone in the world doesn't remember history past a certain point. They have no memory of it, and so they all live in these specific cities in these specific setups with rich and poor people, but they don't know why it's set up that way.
Like they
That's
have
just
short,
how it
like
has
they have
always been.
short-term memory loss of history.
No, it's just
Those little
everyone.
gremlins.
There's just like
So many
a
of them bouncing.
history was just erased. Basically, is the context. Is like there's a point in which history was erased. And so the whole point is him going through and learning about history. Like there are remnants of history, left over.
I remember that show. I remember the art style because I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, it had a very gothic style
Yeah.
of art. But it felt like Batman the
Yeah,
animation.
I was gonna say that's the thing is it reminds me so much of Batman, especially because he has that he has like that little that girl. Is she like a robot or something?
Yeah, she was an android
Yeah.
android maid.
But she was like she was
She's a combat maid technically.
a combat maid. But it reminded me of like Batman with
combat maid.
his butler. Like had that like a similar
You
dynamic.
can't do that. That's illegal.
Never stand in the right
I
wing
only half
direction.
heard what you're talking about, so I just heard robot maid and Batman. So I was just thinking of the baloney chopper from Mask of the Phantasm. the World of Tomorrow baloney chopper that the Joker keeps like having a rapport with, even though it's just an automaton that's just chopping
that's
baloney.
the best character. That's the ultimate waifu right there.
Yeah. Mask of the Phantasm's so fucking good.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was there were monsters below the city or something. People didn't trust going under there. There's a whole thing. It was basically like, what if Batman was anime?
Yeah, I don't remember like anything
if
else about it. I
Batman was
remember the
Adam?
style. I
Well, the
remember
main character was
the
just
goth
a
girl.
wealthy, like a super wealthy guy, and he piloted a mech to presumably save the city, but also just kind of to be a selfish.
Didn't he look like Batman Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, actually.
He had like weird
he
like
actually
speed
kinda looks like Phoenix
things
Wright,
in
yeah.
his hair, but he looked like Batman, all clean and
Yeah, he
simply
was like clean
drawn
cut and everything, but he was very
all
like
black and white.
always in a suit.
Like yeah, he looked like the one good Batman cartoons, Bruce Wayne, but like skinny Phoenix Wright.
Anime has a type.
I say the one good Batman, but the sequel was actually really good.
Which one? Batman Beyond? I did like Batman Beyond.
Where the furries take over the city and
about
Tracy's the new Batman, and he's got he's got a
Is that the
stabby
one
suit.
with a Joker with dreads? Is that one?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
What?
Dreadlock Joker was a completely different art style from a entire different Batman, wasn't it?
I thought that was Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond was just the sequel series to the original, the most beloved Batman series. It had the same animators and same art style, but it just took place later when Bruce was old and needed an apprentice because he wasn't.
Yeah.
So he couldn't fight anymore.
I thought the Joker was there, but he had it was like a gang.
The Dreadlocks was like a recent occurrence. That was like a different art style entirely.
Yeah, no, he's right.
He looks like that's a completely different art style.
I'm looking it up.
Was that also a Batman Beyond reboot though?
It was a Batman. There's been a lot of Batman.
I'm just gonna type in Dreadlock Joker and see what I get.
Oh boy.
Why so serious?
I got it instantly.
Yep.
Why so serious, yo?
Yo.
That's what like every single.
Because Batman Beyond was when they were going cyberpunk with it and having body mods, and people were like, I have a lizard tail and stuff like that because they were like splicing their bodies. Just a weird detail. And yeah, like he has to train Tracy to be the new Batman because he's just so old.
The Batman? Is that a show? The Batman?
The Batman? I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what it seems like it's from. The Batman.
Keep coming up with new variations of names. Forever and ever.
I guess the Dreadlocks are supposed to emulate Joker's hat, like a bell, one of those little bell hats.
I'm gonna die.
Like a jester hat?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
I was like, Joker don't have no hat.
Oh, no.
Well, Jokers do the playing cards. They have, because a jester on the Joker card.
That's not a good idea.
Why are we taking so
all.
much damage right now?
No.
Jesus.
Didn't Batman Beyond had?
He's like a juggalo. That's what it looks like.
He looks like a juggalo.
Yeah.
The final form of the Joker. A juggalo.
He does look like a juggalo.
Well, I mean, he kind of would be. Do you think the Joker would like the Insane Clown Posse?
I don't think they'd like him.
Yeah, they would.
Not with all the wholesome stuff we
no.
keep hearing about the ICP people.
Yeah, they're actually really nice people.
Because the Joker
Yeah,
is a
ICP
fucking
people are not
psychopath.
like anarchists.
Yeah.
Joker is basically just the purest form of anarchy, where he's like, well,
That's
everyone
not
is
what
bad people.
anarchy is.
Oh.
Anarchy isn't just the word, like the concept of chaos. Anarchy is a government system that has a flat hierarchy.
And he is chaotic evil.
Yes.
That's the best way I could put it. I mean, obviously he's just psychotic, but his political idea is that everyone can be bad, just like him, if they push to an extreme enough. Which doesn't make any sense because the alternative is just not living in a world like that.
Well, he gets proved wrong in that book.
Which is that's also true.
He tries to convert Jim Gordon and it doesn't work. So he's proved wrong in that volume. It's just an Alan Moore story. That's what he'd do.
Well, it's better than what's his face, the guy, the one where Joker had a
Frank
Nazi
Miller.
Sidekick.
Whoa. Just kind of going straight forward at that point, huh?
Wait, I was looking up the Inuyasha sequel. What were you?
I don't know if I ever knew that
I'm
one.
looking up some Doki Doki shit.
Yeah, I'm so down. But anyways, what did
Yeah,
you
there
say?
was Frank Miller. Frank Miller's Batman had Joker had a sidekick who was she had like swastikas on her tits.
Well,
Yeah, and the Joker had like a giant dragon tattoo on his back. So he was like a mafia boss.
is this Jackie Chan Adventures?
It was, look, man, it was Frank Miller. He thought it was all cool and shit. Someone didn't pay attention to what he was doing and published the book without realizing it.
The main thing I always
Seriously,
hear is
look
that he was supposed to have made like a really good Batman story at some point, but then he made a sequel to it like 20 years later that seemed to have forgotten the point of his original story completely.
Well, because he changed as a person.
It was like an Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull situation for his Batman comic, where he goes back, but he's a different person, and
Look at
like it's
this
like you
shit.
shouldn't meddle
Look
with the
at this
thing
shit
that
and
you
tell
made.
me it's not. That's not where I
But
want
comics
to
are
post it.
stupid. Comics are so stupid that there's a Civil War 2.
Well, yeah, Electric Boogaloo.
It's like, Civil War went pretty well. Let's make a second Civil War, where we just fucking manufacture the same struggle again, basically.
Ooh,
Oh, I didn't even notice.
What?
I forgot
She
had
got swastikas
on
on her
butt cheeks,
booty.
too.
Booty swastikas.
Boostikas.
Oh no. Way to ruin a perfectly good booty.
That's confusing to look at. That's just a strange image all around.
Here you go. Here's how she's introduced is this picture. God, why is it giving me the worst links possible? They're
'Cause
huge
you-
and ugly and I don't like
You
them.
choose them poorly. You could always just copy the image in Discord instead
I need
How
a
do I?
target.
Oh yeah, you're right.
by just copying the actual image instead of shitty links.
There you go. Forget you can do that. There you go. That's how you're introduced to her.
She even has the buzz cut.
She's got swastika
Yeah.
pasties and a guile haircut.
Yeah, she's the guile haircut.
It's very much like, what is going on, Frank? And he's just like, isn't it edgy? And you're like, yeah, Frank, it's edgy. It's okay.
See, that's the bad kind of edgy we were talking about.
I mean, yeah,
Veggie.
yeah, it's very veggie.
Veggie?
Oh, get in the circle or else you'll die.
It's very far away.
That's okay.
Are all my pets dead now? Yay.
I'll save you. Stay alive, Shale Spider. I believe in you.
Yeah, like the image you posted was like a comparison, I think, between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Returns. And that's supposed to be like the big thing, is that like Dark Knight Returns was like this really shitty follow-up to his previous thing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Or so goes the discourse.
pretty sure Discourse is always like that, though.
I like Batman all right, but not enough to sit there and read every single freaking Batman thing all the time. There's so many. So I just have White Knight and The Killing Joke.
You don't want to read the one time where Batman became a Yellow Lantern and a Green Lantern?
Fuck you. Was it Ichigo?
So it was during the Brightest Day, Darkest Night War. And so all the lanterns were dying in mass, so the rings were just flying all over the
Wow,
place.
Batman, because he's defined by both his courage and his fear.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, no, I get it. Comics are not very clever.
But also Batman was like,
get
I don't want
it.
this fucking shit. This is for babies.
It's very subtle.
I think Superman got like
God
Superman
damn
got like
comics.
a couple of them. It was ridiculous. It was just all right, everybody.
Of course, be a yellow and a green. Remember when there was a really good Green Lantern show and then it got canceled because it was good? I get just because good things can never actually keep existing.
That's not true. I hear the Star Wars Clone Wars series has been pretty good.
Yeah, I keep meaning to get to that because it's supposed to be like the best Star Wars story because like
You talking about the animated one?
apparently Anakin's
Yeah.
apprentice is supposed to be like the best character in the history of Star Wars fiction.
No, that's like a beloved series.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like the art style, but
No,
it
I
was,
didn't. And I also watched the movie in theaters, which was not good.
So apparently there was
Because that was how it was
there
introduced, is
recently
they made
was
a movie of it.
I didn't
thing
realize
going
that.
on.
Then they did a
for-
show.
I think it's Rotten Tomatoes is doing a best movie vote or whatever.
Of all
And so
time,
the prequel
vote.
meme subreddit has been
of course.
blasting every movie down and boosting all of the Star Wars prequel movies up.
No.
And they managed to get it. They managed to beat Endgame. Revenge of the Sith was a better movie than Endgame by Rotten Movie.
Neither of these movies should be on the list.
Yeah, I don't
They
want Endgame
shouldn't.
up in there either.
But it was great. People were so they're like, wait, how the fuck did Endgame lose to Revenge of the Sith? And so the whole like subreddit is just posting a bunch of fucking memes from Clone Wars where it's like good soldiers follow orders, good soldiers follow orders, and it's just like voting every Star Wars movie in mass. It's great.
The internet
been a
does
fun-
magic things.
It's been a fun ride. They're a
stupid
good
things.
group that are very aware that they are not that their movies are not the best in the world.
No, that's the trick, is they're indoctrinating everyone into getting comfortable about joking about the prequels, so that they then just like can sleeper hit them back into being like, actually the prequels are good, plot twist.
That's a running meme, is that they're eventually going to convince enough people that they'll become the Senate. They're like, then no one will tell us the movies are bad because it will only be us and the movies are good. And it's like, oh god.
Level 91 now, Andrew.
I am 89.
You best step up.
I'm trying.
I'm gonna out level this whole. I already have, but I'm gonna be out of level range this entire expansion soon.
Give me your shell, you stupid tortoise.
Yeah, it's awkward. You have to get it to eat the food, and then you have to sit there and beat its shell with a hammer until you get loot out of it.
That's not
just
nice
a normal
at all.
one. Well, it's made of magma. You know, the rules are out the window.
He's angry. Run for it.
The turtle rules are out the window.
Oh no, he's mad at me. What if I say I'm sorry?
It's also got that disease.
What disease?
That you guys told me about,
disease?
where like if it's bad when the shell's spiky.
Oh yeah.
Nemesis.
Well,
maybe that's why he's so
it killed me.
angry. He's got the. You're not supposed to fight him.
He's pyramiding.
I wasn't. I was trying to fight his shell.
Now he's distracted. Now he's eating the food you left as a distraction, but you're dead, you fool.
It's fine.
He's supposed to eat the food, and then you go donk donk on the shell and get a free sample.
Donk donk.
Then you move on with your life. The doki doki.
I'm retrieving it right now.
What expansion is next?
Got it.
Is Legion next? No, Draenor is next.
Yeah, Draenor.
It's time for us to go to the other Burning Crusade. Well, I'm gonna head towards that.
Oh my God, is it already time for that?
I'm sure we're getting ready to wrap up for the session. Yeah, level 90 to 100 is Draenor, then 100 to 110 is Legion, and then 110 to 120 is Battle for Azeroth, which is the current expansion. Yeah, we're up there. You're also capping out on your heirlooms right about now, if you haven't upgraded them past 90.
I upgraded them past 90.
Yeah, I just set them to 100. I need to farm more money so I can afford it on my main character to get to 110, or we're just gonna have to slow down soon and just give up and start using real loot and not having the experience boost, which will be sad days.
I don't want that.
That's the real pain. I'm trying to
like...
level other characters when we're not doing this, and those characters also need their own set of heirlooms.
That sounds like effort, and I don't believe in it.
I can't make that amount. I need to figure out. I need to look up guides about like, yo, how do I make money in the economy right now? I'm all out of date. Yeah, it's just like real life. Which like, how do I make money in this economy? Like, which things are marketable?
That is a good question.
I'm an inscription dude. Which cosmetics sell the hottest? I just unlocked one that lets you turn druids get turned into dolphins. Maybe that'll sell.
What time? Oh, so what level do you go to Draenor? 100?
Draenor is 90.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, now.
All right.
I'm going now. Bye.
I'm still 89.
I'm gonna log out in Draenor. I'm gonna get it started. Actually, it's probably well. We probably want to. I'm just gonna go back to Orgrimmar.
Yeah, just go. Hang out.
Yeah, try to get to like level 90, 91 or something between sessions or something. Because I think Draenor starts with a scripted war sequence that we'd want to play together instead of separately, where it'd be boring. So I guess I'll just wait in Orgrimmar.
We do have to go through the war.
All the modern expansions start with like a war, like scripted sequence thing.
I mean, it's in the name of the game, Keith. What were you expecting?
A world with
Pacifist
no Warcraft?
Warcraft? Maybe it's just an entire game about planning war, but never like actually fighting in it.
Just fantasizing about it?
Yeah. No fighting here. This is the war room.
Sounds like basically an internet chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Let's all talk about being bad people, but we'll never be bad people because we don't go outside.
Dr. Strangelove. Strangelove.
What? It's like Dr. Strangelove.
Excuse me.
It's pulling out the Strangelove.
How I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb.
Dr. Strangelove is the Triple X parody of Dr. Strangelove, which
if you want Dr. Strange
already
glove,
sounds like a
you have to
Triple X
wear
parody.
a Dr. Strange glove. No glove, no love.
You don't want to know where that glove's been.
What point were you trying to make with that, Keith?
No one knows.
This is already concerning.
Which part of it?
Why'd you bring it up in the first place? Doctor Strange.
What other kind of gloves are there?
No, we were just talking about just the version of this where we just aren't fighting and everything. I was like, and I just quoted the movie because I was like, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Oh.
There's a quote from Doctor Strangelove.
You've seen that one?
No.
What?
I feel like I'd like it too, but I've never sseen it.
You would like it, motherfucker.
There's too many fucking movies, and I like to watch new, surprising things that I can then tell people about. Be like, oh, you haven't seen Green Room yet? You haven't seen Neon Demon yet? And then I can be like, oh, yeah. But then there's the hierarchy problem where it's like, on top is video games, and then below that is television shows, and then below that is books and manga, and then comics and so on, and then below that is how often I watch movies.
See, mine is
like,
for sure movies top.
Yeah, like you watch movies constantly. But even though I really like movies, it like lands on the bottom of my hierarchy of how frequently I watch things or consume things.
I like how a chosen one. Where are you going?
I'm always like addicted to like some show that I'm like working my way through, or like watching the next episode as they come out and so on. Whereas like a movie's like a standalone thing, and it always feels like you want to like make it a social thing and like group up to watch a movie instead of just like randomly watch a movie.
I feel like there are times you need to make, or there's time you need to make for the classics.
Yeah.
Even
I've
if
also
it
got a
is
Blu-ray
boring
player
to
here.
do, just because there's a lot of context in them and a lot of new stuff that you're watching.
But you're building foundational knowledge upon which to like compare every other movie from that point on.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can't have like a grasp on like how okay. Like I mean, to each their own, bro. But if you watch like a mobster movie right now, like for example, if you watch like an Italian mafia movie, you haven't seen the Godfather movies or seen like Goodfellas, or like you're gonna have a weird like your interpretation will be different than someone who has seen those movies.
I think I watched the first Godfather but don't remember it, and I've never seen Goodfellas.
If you, like,
and I've never seen The Usual Suspects.
Or like all the old like war
like
movies,
watching
or all the
Sopranos
old
but having
cowboy
never
movies.
seen a mob movie is very weird.
It is weird.
I feel like you would be very confused about a lot of the characters and their actions and their mannerisms, because a lot of it plays off of those tropes.
Well, the whole point is that it like defies those tropes, which is why it's like
I still haven't finished watching all of my favorite directors' movies.
I mean, that's
I think I've watched
I did the same thing with anime.
I think I've watched every Edgar Wright movie, but I think I still haven't seen 2 Tarantino films.
I thought Edgar Wright was your favorite director.
They both are.
Which Tarantino films haven't you seen?
I haven't seen Jackie Brown or the Grindhouse one.
You been my little surfer girl.
Death Proof.
She my
Really?
little surfer girl.
I've never seen Death Proof, and I've never seen Jackie Brown. I keep meaning to. It's been on my Netflix list for like 7 years. It's just sitting there. But it's a long list. And there's also this weird feeling of like, but if I watch it, I'll run out, and then I won't have any more movies to look forward to.
Oh, there's a way.
Even though like
right.
it's been on my list for so long that 2 new Tarantino movies have come out in that time. Because in that time we've had
you can watch the
Snow one, Hateful Eight, and
the Snow one,
and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I still need to go back and rewatch Hateful Eight, the miniseries.
I didn't even know there was a miniseries.
They re-edited it as of I think it's longer than Hateful Eight originally was, but they also broke it into a series of episodes because it kind of flows as a series of. It kind of flows as being like a 5-episode television show more than it does as being like one continuous movie.
Did Tarantino do this, or is it like who did
I don't
this?
know.
I mean, that's important.
That is important.
Tarantino
I don't
directed
know.
it, so I feel like he's probably the person who would have the right vision for it.
I just think if he didn't do it, I don't want to watch it.
You don't want to watch it if he didn't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I really wanted to watch the Kill Bill abridged, like 2 movie combined
in one thing. It's called The Whole Bloody Affair.
Yeah, with like the extra pieces he like sews in like a Frankenstein.
Like a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
The Franken movie.
I mean,
Kill Bill is one of my favorite movies ever made.
that's basically what there's an anime movie there's an anime movie that feels like it's a Franken movie.
I can't be here. I won't get rested if I stay here.
It does have some really good.
I don't know what was my favorite
stories
Tarantino.
though. Like the one where
I
there's a
usually
giant fart gas that takes over Tokyo.
I usually say
What
Reservoir
are you
Dogs.
talking about?
I forget the name of it. It's
Gyo?
a really good
Talking about Gyo.
a really good movie or short movie, I guess you could call it, short
Gyo.
animation. short story of a guy who wakes up and has to run from a gaseous cloud consuming Japan, and he's like,
I was like, can you hear us?
It's just great. He's like, he keeps changing
How
vehicles,
quiet is
running,
my microphone?
like, running, trying to outrun a cloud, and the animation is superb. But I don't like saying the plot of it is a spoiler, like why he's running from it. So
I guess it's not what I thought it was because it sounded like Gyo.
no, it's not Gyo.
That's also about an evil fart cloud.
This one's a little different.
It's about evil fart cloud and fish spiders.
That's the one you gave your brother, right?
I think so.
And I remember thinking, why did I was like, why did you give him this one? This is like the like of all the one, I'd give him Uzumaki.
No, I hadn't read them yet.
You gave him Gyo?
I literally just
As
did
a
it on a
gift?
whim. I had not read it.
Wow.
So weird.
It was just
I mean, that's-
it was just a thing that came heavily recommended at the time, and it was time to give my brother gifts. And we don't really know what each other want half the time that well, so I was like, I don't know. As far as I remember,
We live in the same house.
as far as I remember, well, I didn't at the time. This was years ago.
Dude, Andrew, so I moved
I gave
in.
it to him like 3 or 4 years ago.
I moved in with Keith's brother before I ever met Keith, and the
Yeah.
first day I walk in and I see on the shelf is a copy of Gyo, and I'm like, oh, you guys like Gyo? Like you like fucking
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he literally never read it. at all.
Junji Ito?
Probably never opened it.
And then he's like, he looks at me, he goes, no, my brother gave me that, and I'm like, oh yeah, you let dust get on this. How could you let dust get on Gyo?
Yeah.
And I got mad at Keith's brother for like letting dust settle on Gyo.
Yeah.
That's
This is a Junji
unfortunate.
Ito work.
No.
You can't let dust get all over
All
it.
of my media recommendations and gifts get abandoned and
Yeah,
never opened.
he's like, oh, my brother gave me that.
I don't think he's ever opened a single thing I've ever given him.
Does he like not
So-
trust your recommendations, or is he like just
don't-
uninterested in
I don't
new
think
media?
I don't think he would ever want to admit he liked something that he learned about from me, so he just doesn't ever follow
He
through on
wouldn't,
anything I
he wouldn't
recommend.
have
What?
liked that. He wouldn't have
That's
liked that anyway.
weird. I mean, I've been
No, because
recommended
he won't take my
anime that people I
recommendations on
don't like,
music
and I
or
like the
movies or
anime.
television
It's-
shows. Even though one of his favorite bands ever for a long time was somebody that I just tricked him into listening to, because I couldn't give him the album in person because then he would never listen to it. So I just had to like stealth it into his room on his desk with his other stuff, and then just leave it there. And then months later I heard him listening to it all the fucking time, to the point where I was sick of it. But it was like a all secret gambit to like, I had to sneak it into his life, because if he knew it was from me, then he'd hate it by default. But it's like,
This is
but I
the
know you'll
weirdest,
like this. I know you'll like Rise Against so much. And then he did.
Oh my god, he wouldn't have listened to Rise Against.
Yeah, because it would have been from
Otherwise?
me.
Like,
No,
just
for the longest time,
naturally?
if you heard my music on my, if you heard any of my music on
He
my,
hates the Pixies because he liked them so
yeah, no, he's annoying. He'd be in my car and listen, and music would come up, and it'd be like it would be a bagpipe playing, and he'd be like, ugh, I fucking hate the Pixies. It's like, you're not even trying. Like, it's just everything that I listen to is by default shitty Pixies music or whatever. And it was like the Dropkick Murphys. It's
Well,
like,
no, what's funny is he listened to my music and he's like, you'd like the same music as my brother, but I was listening to something so not like,
yeah,
knowing that
no,
now
he's
makes me laugh.
No, he's
It's so-
completely
it's so off.
He's completely dismissive and reductive about media that he thinks he can associate with me. Like, he resents all media that I might like. It's like just by default.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah,
I
he'll only
don't know
ever-
how it's gonna work in the long run.
He'll only like something like Harry Potter that's so like globally popular that it can't be like traced to me specifically.
Oh,
It can't
okay.
be
So
any-
you can like
it-
Harry Potter even
Well,
though you
well, I
like
mean,
it, but he can't like
it's
music.
like, because it's
Oh, it
like,
can't be
'cause he can
specific.
interpret Harry Potter as something that we liked at the same time, and that he didn't like get from me or whatever. But yeah, no, like I would
Get
like buy
from
him,
you,
I would
because
buy him
that's
like
how it works.
Like, I knew from growing up that he played like Fire Emblem and like was it Fire Emblem and Advanced Wars and Golden Sun and stuff like that. So I would buy him JRPGs in that style on the console that I knew he and John had, and he would just never open them for years. I was like, cool. I literally bought him a Fire Emblem game once and he never opened it. I'm like, you like Fire Emblem?
You still haven't used his panini maker.
He refuses all the I have two. People keep giving me panini makers. I don't know why.
Wait, he didn't use a panini maker that you gave him?
No, he gave me a panini maker and I haven't used it.
He
I'm like,
hasn't used it.
But it's like, this is so many steps. It's so
Is
much
it?
work. It's so much. I have to get all the
No.
ingredients, and I have to get like the right types of bread.
get all the
I
ingredients.
have to get like the right types of bread and the right types of each part of the panini.
No,
that this,
you
this
don't have to get
particular
it right types
machine
of anything.
wants.
You put some bread on some cheese on some meat, slap it in that
No, I
panini
think
maker.
I think it takes like
call it a show.
muffins or whatever.
I
don't
have
think-
them
I don't
right
think-
now. I
don't
have
think
English muffins
Well, then
downstairs right now.
Okay, are you home tomorrow? Let's make a panini tomorrow.
I'll freaking make a panini.
Let's
with
make a
you,
panini
bitch.
together. We can use both of my panini makers at the same time.
Oh my
Because I have
gosh.
that other box next to it is the same
Holy
product
shit, efficient
basically.
panini making. That's pretty good.
I keep getting.
You can
I don't
both
know
eat
why
a panini
people
at the
keep
same
giving these to
time.
me.
I mean,
If I
that's-
will literally go to the store tomorrow and get stupid shit to put in that panini maker, just so you fucking do that, so your brother will be happy and you can bond, and I can watch and it'll be
Right?
cute.
I just need to leave it out while it looks oily. And
So
then be
just
"Ah,
spray
was
it with
used."
oil.
Just so they know,
make it look
just so he thinks,
used.
just he knows it was used, yeah. And then we can bury this hatchet once and for all. And then he'll listen to the Pixies, and our entire relationship will be mended. And he'll read books I give him.
No.
wow, this is getting a little too off the rails.
He borrowed Seconds, and he's the one that expressed interest in it. But then he just put it behind their TV in his bedroom and abandoned it there for like 4 months. And then until I just took it back one day.
Oh.
Because I just saw Seconds sitting there collecting dust behind their TV. I'm like, I mean, if you're just gonna ignore it,
I'm gonna ask him what he thought of it.
because he borrowed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask
I
him.
think you were there when he borrowed it, because it was recommended by you too. But then he just like,
Oh,
let-
it
he-
was
he
me.
Yeah, he just put it behind their TV and abandoned it. And I'm like, all right, I could just see it there when I'd walk by their room, so I just reached in and took it. That's currently where the Harry Potter 8 is. Because Jonathan borrowed that, and he just put it behind their TV. I'm like, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep
feel
borrowing
like-
books for being abandoning them? In a spot where they'll never be using it. It's not their nightstand. Like, it's not a place they're
I'm
gonna
just wondering,
remember
like,
it.
what have you like? What could have
It's
even?
where books go to
what could
die.
even trigger this? Like, did he like something you liked and you just relentlessly fucking teased him about it? Like, what did you do to make him hate liking the same things you like so much?
We split hard at some point. We used to play all the same games and watch all the same media all the time. Until one day we got our own computers and we had individuality for the first time. We didn't have to share everything. And then we just split where like I just played like
the
I
Fire
like I
Nation
had
attack.
I had a PC to play like Diablo 2 and WoW with, but aside from that, I was actually still just playing console games constantly. I was playing KOTOR and Halo 2 and all these things as they were coming out, and he just was playing Diablo and WoW and Terraria continuously, and he still does to this day. Forever. And he hasn't played a console game for so long that his ability to play with a controller has like atrophied until now. He like acts like it's an alien device that'll hurt his hands if you give him to him, and he refuses to use it. And it's like, how did you play video games for decades and like abandon controllers forever out of spite, I guess? Because I don't know if he just saw me playing consoles and just refused, to the point where like once we
that would be ridiculous.
we got an
give up
Xbox
on
for Christmas and he was
medium.
mad. He was mad we got an Xbox for Christmas because like, I didn't want it. So I just used the
He
Xbox.
didn't want an Xbox.
We got an Xbox 360 for Christmas and he was like not happy about it. I'm like, why? You got a free video game console. What kind of kid are you? I don't understand.
You guys are funny. It's funny living here. I love both of you.
We're so
You're
wildly
very different.
incompatible.
It sounds like a fucking sitcom. What is it?
I know, that's how I explain my life to
we struggle
people.
to like say words to each other. we're bad
How?
at
Like,
having conversations.
I'm secretly trying to get them to bond.
It's so fucking stilted and
That's like my
awkward.
life goal.